committee. I think we're going to, you just got to change things up. We're going to have 2 or 3 guys on the floor at all times in the starting lineup. It'll be Pete and Keandre, and we're going to kind of alternate. Whoever has the ball will advance it, so we're not going to have maybe your traditional point guard. Luke had the ball in his hands a lot. We're going to have to spread that around a little bit more, so it's going to change how we play. The other piece is, we run a fairly complex system and a lot of different movements and counters, and it takes some time to learn as a point guard how to get into all that. And so we're gonna simplify a lot of stuff. We're not gonna run as much as we've as many sets and things that we've done. And I'm just gonna really sell on the guys that, hey, let's get it, let's attack, let's be aggressive in what we do.
And Luke has been one of the top outside shooters on a team that's kind of struggled the last couple of games. Is that just a matter of they need to find their stroke and get in rhythm?
Well, I think they've been good shots. We've evaluated them. They're shots that, with the exception of a few that you want our team taking. And for whatever reason, the ebb and flow of a year, sometimes the shots are going in and sometimes they're not. And the last few games, they haven't gone in as regularly as we'd like. It usually takes 1 or 2 shots going in to change that whole thing. And I think we've got, just like I said, we think we have quality ball handlers. We've got several guys who have the ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter, and we just need to do that here down the stretch.
So Elmhurst comes in, they were 17-1, ranked 4th in the country just 2 weeks ago. Augie beats them at the buzzer. They lost 2 games last week. Now they've lost 3 out of 4. They come in reeling a little bit. Have you seen any difference in their approach in the last couple of weeks to cause this downturn?
Well, part of it is this darn conference we play in. When you talk about the teams they lost to, it's not like they've lost to bad opponents, and it can happen. They are really a good team, but they've been beat by really good teams. And this conference doesn't have much mercy on you. Every night out you're playing a quality opponent, teams that are top 20 caliber teams, and you've got to play well. They haven't shot the ball quite as well the last few games either, and that has a big, they're kind of a perimeter-oriented team. I'd say this first time we played them, they had a lot of swagger. They were really a confident group. I'm sure some of that has to have been knocked off, but at the same time, they're coming in as a desperate team too, and needing to get back on the winning ways. So I'm certain we'll get their best shot.
So anything to glean from the first appearance? It was close until Elmhurst got fired late in the first half, scored 20 in a row, and ended up with a comfortable lead in the second half.
Well, the first thing is not to let them go on a 20-0 run, Eric. That is my first. But so you look at why did they do that? And the reason they did that, they ran it up at us in transition faster than anybody had all year. And we did not react well to that. We allowed, because they played at such a fast pace, we allowed that to snowball on us. So we've worked very hard in our transition defense, and our goal is to slow them up and not give them advantage situations. If you get that little guard, Jake Rohde, one-on-one and with a head of steam at you, it's going to be a long night. Dotlich, their wing, big, strong, it can really shoot it. We've got to get back and get our defense set.
So you don't want Jake Rohde driving on you, but of course he can make the 3 as well. He's a leading scorer in the conference. How do you take away, or do you just have to simply pick your poison with someone like that?
Well, our goal is to try to make him play in a crowd, that he doesn't have a lot of room. He excels when he's got some space because he's so shifty, and he can drive to the basket, he can shoot the 3. So our goal is to try to make him play in a crowd the best we can without fouling, because he's also very adept at drawing fouls.
And you have fewer fouls to dispose of as it stands now.
No, right. I mean, we are going to, our depth certainly is being tested, with the loss of Grant, Luke, and then also Gavin Marcraft. I mean, Gavin Marcraft was nipping at the heels in terms of getting into the rotation. So, it provides opportunity for other guys.
Sure. Last home game tonight. Hopefully you'll have some of the postseason, but last opportunity, at least for now, to play in front of the Shook Center fans.
Well, yeah, and the best fans in the country. I mean, that was a great crowd against Augustana, and we so much appreciate everybody that came out to support the team. Disappointed we couldn't send them home with a win, but hopefully we can tonight.
All right, we appreciate the time. Best of luck. We'll talk to you afterwards.
Thanks, Eric.
That's Illinois Wesleyan Titan coach Ron Rose as our pregame show continues. It is sponsored by Braze. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout as we'll bring you the starting lineups and the opening tip. This is Illinois Wesleyan Titan basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WEXG, Rock in the Heartland. Welcome back to Shirk Center at Illinois Wesleyan. Eric Stock with Joel Swanson and Nathan Schertz in studio. The Titan women are also in action tonight, and they are ahead of us. Their game at Milliken, they moved up an hour because of the road conditions. It was a little worse down south than it was to the north. Elmhurst was able to make it down here without any difficulty, unlike last week when the women's team came down. Their bus broke down. They had to delay the game until the following night. But anyway, the Titan women are at halftime. They've actually just started the third quarter in Decatur, and Milliken has a 41-33 lead. That's a big game for the Titan women as they are back in the hunt for the top spot. They are just a half game behind North Park after the Titans win on Saturday against Augustana. So the Titans are trailing now 41-35 at the break. We'll talk to Coach Maya Smith and also a couple of player guests we understand will be joining us tomorrow for our Titan Coaches Show, which will be back at Cheeks Bar and Grill in Bloomington. We had to move it last week because of the basketball game, but we will be back at Cheeks tomorrow night at 7 o'clock talking Titans basketball for the men and for the women. And later on tonight, we will introduce to you the new commissioner of the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin, Maureen Hardy. She will be joining us at halftime here tonight. Let's bring you the starting lineups for tonight's game. We started with the visiting Elmhurst Blue Jays, and as we talk about the injuries that the Titans have had to deal with, particularly at the point guard spot, it is worth noting that Elmhurst is rolling out the same starting five tonight that they did in games 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way through number 22. It is quite rare to have one lineup for an entire season, but Elmhurst has been able to do that, and that continuity has been huge for them.
It certainly has. If you can avoid injury, it's going to give you a huge advantage, especially in a conference like the CCIW, where especially this year the margin of error has been so small. But the Blue Jays have been excellent throughout the season. They've hit a little bit of a rough road, losing 3 out of their last 4, but Eric, they have an outstanding junior class, and then the senior Derek Dotlich has been very, very good so far this year. This is a really good Elmhurst team, and it's kind of an Elmhurst team that's kind of grown up over the years. They've been playing together. A lot of these guys saw action as freshmen and sophomores. Now they're starting to hit those junior and senior years, and it's starting to pay some dividends for the Blue Jays.
Jake Rohde in particular being a 3-year starter as just a junior, while the Titans have all but 2 players coming back next year as seniors. As you said, just 1 senior starter on this club, so they are certainly going to be one of the preseason contenders next year, and that could depend on how far they go this year. They're still focused on 2020.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you know what? Jake Rohde has had an outstanding junior year. You talk about guys who might be there for the MOP when it's all said and done. Obviously, I think Connor Raridan is probably going to win that award when it's all said and done. But Jake Rohde's going to be right there. He's going to be on everybody's all-conference team. He's had an outstanding season for the Blue Jays. And you talk about a guy who's really hard to keep in front. You try to stay in front of him as much as you possibly can, but he does a nice job putting the ball on the deck, getting the basket extremely quick, does a nice job of dishing off to some of their other players as well, and they can spread the floor because they got some guys that can shoot. This is going to be a challenge, no doubt, for the Titans defensively, but Coach Rose talked about it a little bit in the pregame. The transition defense is so important. It's so important to be able to get numbers back to slow down any fast break advantages that Elmhurst does have tonight. We don't say this often, but if the game is a little slower, that might benefit the Titans. We don't say that very often. They usually want to get up and down, but the Blue Jays love to fly, and they love to get out in the break.
Yeah, but the junior varsity game is any indication. The Titans won that game 107-97, and it was because that game took so long that we are still a few minutes away from the opening tip in the varsity contest, even though we are approaching 7 o'clock, just in case you were wondering. So that, again, an indication of the kind of style that really both these teams typically prefer to play.
Yeah, and Elmhurst loves to get up and down the floor, 85 points per game. And you mentioned that's why it was such a strange score at North Central on Saturday. The lowest number of points by far they had scored all year. The Blue Jays can really fill it up, and it's going to be a defensive challenge here for Illinois Wesleyan. And it seems like an Illinois Wesleyan team that defensively has gotten a little bit better as the year has gone on. We talked about their struggles there for a while, but definitely struggled against Augustana defensively. Now, Augustana is a little bit of a different team just because of the massive size that they have inside. We won't see as much of that with Elmhurst here tonight, but certainly the Blue Jays have some guards that can really make it happen.
They come in averaging 85 points per game, which is best in the conference, and their scoring margin of plus 12 is also best in the league. Jake Rohde is their all-conference point guard. The 5'11 junior from Mount Carmel High School is averaging a league best 21 points per game. He's also third in the conference in assists at 4.3 per contest. Nick Perry is a 5'11 junior guard from Flossmoor, Illinois. He attended Hinsdale South High School, and he is averaging 4.2 points per game. Derek Dotlich, their other big scoring threat, the 6'3 senior forward from Winamac, Indiana, is averaging 16.5 points per game, which is 4th best in the conference. At the Titans' first matchup with the Blue Jays, Dotlich scored 20, while Rohde scored 21 in the Blue Jays win. And then up front, they are big. Jay Militello, 6'4", 215-pound junior from Fenwick High School. Militello is averaging 8.5 points and 6 rebounds per game. And Levon Thomas, a 6'5 junior wide body, at 260. He is from Wheaton North High School, and Thomas averaging nearly 14 points at 8.3 rebounds per game. That is 3rd best in the conference. The Blue Jays coached by John Baines, the Illinois Wesleyan alum, who was a member of the Titans' 1997 National Championship team, now in his 7th year at Elmhurst with a record of 107-73. The Blue Jays are 18-4 on the season and 9-4 in the CCIW, good for 3rd place, and they have gone 9-2 on the road this year. For Illinois Wesleyan, their starting 5, a change with Luke Yoder out of the lineup. Pete Lambesis gets to the start at point. The 6'4" sophomore from Mount Prospect, Illinois, is averaging 12 points and has 27 steals this year, which is tied for 6th best in the CCIW. Keandre Schumacher, 5'11", redshirt sophomore from University High School, and the transfer from Winthrop University. Keandre averaging 12.3 points per game, 10th best in the league at 40% from beyond the arc. Doug Wallen, the 6'5" junior forward from Champaign Central High School. Wallen averaging 10.6 points and 6 rebounds per game. Up front, Charlie Bear, 6'7" junior forward from Glenbard South High School. Charlie is averaging 8 points and 8.6 rebounds per game, second to best in the CCIW. And the new starter is Matt Leyritz, 6'7" sophomore from St. Louis University High School, and he is averaging 7.5 points and 4.2 rebounds per game. And Ron Rose, the Illinois Wesleyan head coach, in his 14th season with a record of 257 victories and 127 defeats. The Titans have a 14-7 record on the year. They're 8-4 in the CCIW. That is good for 4th place in the conference, and they're 7-4 on their home floor this season. We will take a 2-minute timeout, and we will come back with the opening tip in just a moment. This is Illinois Wesleyan Titan basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WBXG, Rock and Heartland.
Ranks 4th in total wins amongst all Illinois colleges and universities, and is the #1 most winningest team for all Division III programs in Illinois. Since the 1909-1910 season, the Titans have won 1,677 games. Illinois Wesleyan men's basketball has earned 30 CCIW championships, 8 NAIA national tournament bids, and 25 NCAA Division III tournament appearances. The Titans are 10-time NCAA Elite 8 participants, including 5 Final Fours and the 1997 National Championship. Illinois Wesleyan's men's basketball program has also had the most players designated as academic All-Americans among any NCAA program. The Titans are #1. UCLA is #2, Indiana 3, Kansas 4, and Duke 5th. An astounding 31 IBCA Hall of Fame selections have Illinois Wesleyan ties. 18 players, including Jack Sikma, have been inducted. Former men's coach Denny Bridges was inducted in 2007, and current women's coach Maya Smith in 2018. The 1997 National Champion men's team and the 2012 National Champion women's teams were both inducted in 2018. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Allen and the IBCA congratulate all Illinois Wesleyan University Titans, players, coaches, and fans, past and present, on this great achievement with the plaque for Ron Rose. This evening, CCIW contest at the Shirk Center on Denny Bridges Court will feature the visiting.
And welcome back to Shirk Center at Illinois Wesleyan as we're getting set for the starting lineups to be announced here at Elmhurst College today, at Illinois Wesleyan University, rather, against Elmhurst. They just presented Illinois Wesleyan coach Ron Rose with a plaque for the Titans' 1,500 victories in the history of the program, a program that dates back more than a century and has had 10 Elite 8 appearances, 5 Final Fours, most recently in 2014, and, of course, the 1997 Division III National Champions, of which Elmhurst coach John Baines was a player. As we now pause for the playing of our national anthem performed by the Illinois Wesleyan Titan Band. Titan Band performing the Stars and Stripes here tonight here at Illinois Wesleyan, and we're about set to tip things off here in just a moment. An interesting irony, I suppose, that the first time the Titans played the Blue Jays back in January, that was Matt Laris' first start. Charlie Bear was under the weather, and he had his best game as a Titan. Had 22 points, 8 rebounds in his first start, and now he gets his second start tonight, though for a different reason. With Luke Yoder out of the lineup, and the Titans going with a bigger lineup this evening.
Yeah, Matt has really played well the last few weeks, has really stepped it up on both ends of the floor. That gives you a nice score inside. Struggled a little bit against Augustana on Saturday, as did most of the Titans in the second half, but Matt has really been a difference maker for Illinois Wesleyan, a guy they can pound it inside that painted area. Matt also does a nice job stepping out to about 15, 16 feet, can knock down that jump shot. But maybe the most impressive thing about Matt has been his defense so far, his ability to be able to guard the basket, wall off near the rim. He's really had an impressive stretch here, Eric, and hopefully that continues. And that certainly bodes well for the future for the Titans as well. Matt, just a sophomore, and he's going to be a pivotal player inside for Illinois Wesleyan over the next couple of years. He's gotten terrific experience for the Titans this season. And, you know, sometimes we look at the record and we look at maybe the struggles on Saturdays, but you have to remember how young this Titan team is and how many of these guys are going to be returning a year from now.
Oh, we're about to tip it off here. The Titan women are trailing Milliken 54-48. About 2 minutes to go in the third quarter at the Griswold Center. The Titans are wearing their alternate home jerseys, the home grays with green numbers and letters, and Titans on the front of their tops with white trim. And Elmhurst in their road light blue jerseys with dark blue numbers, and Elmhurst in white across the front of their jerseys. Our officials for tonight's game were Bobby Daw, Dave King, and Kenneth Moreland as we get ready to tip it off here tonight.
We saw two very different halves on Saturday against Augustana, up and down the floor in the first half, a little bit more of grinded out action in half number two as Augustana was able to pull away in the second half. And you got to think this game's going to go up and down throughout. Elmhurst is going to try to push the basketball. It'll be interesting to see what kind of pace the Titans want getting up and down the floor here tonight. Should be a really exciting, entertaining basketball game at the Shirk Center.
Matt Laritz on the opening tip against Jay Militello as the officials bring basketball, and now we're ready to go.
Now it's been one of those years where every conference game seems pivotally important. Another one for both sides, and here we go. We'll see who's going to play with that desperation tonight.
And the tip won by the Blue Jays initially. It was off of Rody's fingertips and went to Doug Wallen. And the Titans will set up shop as they go left to right of the first half. Charlie Bear with an overhead pass to the left side to Keandre Schumacher. One hot pass top of the key to Wallen on the right side to Lambesis. Fakes the pass, goes back out to Wallen. He'll pull up. Tough shot, 18-footer. Off the heel, no. And Levon Thomas boxers out for the rebound for the Blue Jays. Left side to Rody. Holds the ball, kicks it back out. Top of key to Perry. Driving baseline to right of the lane is Dutledge for two.
Doug Wallen getting beat on the back door. I'd love to see the Titans pound that basketball inside just a little bit here to start the game. Play a little bit of inside-outside basketball.
2-0 Blue Jays have the lead on the cut. It's Schumacher with a floater in the paint from 10 feet. He knocks it down.
There's that curl. Nice job by Keandre. You get that defender trailing. Get that curl cut right down the middle of the lane right there. A nice floater to finish it.
And we're tied at 2 in the opening minute. Thomas swings the left side for Perry. Perry out on top to Dotlich. Off a screen, wheels down low. Had it poked away at Wallen to get to the recovery.
Yeah, the screener play that time for Elmhurst. Dotlich almost came open.
Lambesis out to Wallen, to Bear with the handoff to Schumacher. Rolls off of the pick. Behind the back bounce pass out to Bear. Bear gives it up back to Schumacher for three. You're in and out. Loose ball and picked up by Rody for the Blue Jays.
I'd love to see if Keandre could find it from the outside. That could make a big difference here this evening.
Open look for Perry. His three is good.
They helped off that time, trying to really keep Rody out of the lane. It was just one step, left Perry open. He drilled it.
And the Blue Jays have a 5-2 lead. On the low block, it's Laritz muscling up against Thomas with a jump hook and no good. But weak side rebound by Charlie Bear for two.
Yeah, I really think that's a look that the Titans could get all night long inside that post area. Elmhurst not nearly as big as Augustana was on Saturday. They really struggled at the rim.
5-4 Blue Jays as Rhodey knifes it between two defenders, and was that a travel?
Yeah, that was a travel that
Indeed.
time. Pretty well done that time. Good help defense there by Illinois Wesleyan, and Rhodey took an extra step in the lane. We talked about this point guard by committee. Wolf and Yoder both down for the rest of the season, so it's going to have to be other guys that step up here for the Titans.
So now Schumacher brings it up, gives it to Lambesis into the corner. Layward strokes a three and hits it from the corner.
Now they're going to test Thomas. He didn't step out that time. They might have to go out and get Matt now in possessions that are coming up as Matt Layward's able to step out and knock out down that three-point shot.
7-5, the lead for Illinois Wesleyan in their first of the contest. Left side, Dotlich shovels it down low to Thomas. Backing down on Layward. Knifes it between two defenders. The jump step, backdoor pass for Perry. Broken up. The steal by Schumacher. Lead pass ahead to Layward. Make that Wallen. The scoop and the score, not quite. Back tap by Bear out to Layward. They'll reset. Layward with a seam. He'll no look it to Wallen for two. And the foul on Thomas.
Boy, we talk about coming out and playing with energy. Boy, the Titans just seem to have an extra burst in their step, Eric, here to start the game. Maybe it's just the pace. Maybe it's the fact they don't have to face a 6'11 guy inside, but there just seems to be an extra burst of speed here from Illinois Wesleyan to start the contest.
The foul was the first of the game on either team, and Wallen looking for the three-point play, and he converts. He's a 59% free throw shooter, and the Titans have a 10-5 advantage.
Now this is the place Illinois Wesleyan's going to have to get it done. It's going to be on the defensive end against this high-scoring Blue Jays attack.
Thomas, top of the key to Militello with a jump step at the kick out to Perry. An open look at a three, and he hits his second of the game.
Yeah, they have helped off him twice, and he's made them pay both times. Going to have to get a better closeout with the high hand on Perry and maybe not help quite as much.
And he's only 18% from three-point range this season. He's already scored more than his per-game average at 4 coming in. Titans up by bucket at 10-8. Baseline Laywards with an open look. 18-footer is good as they force Thomas out again.
Yeah, Thomas is going to have to go out and guard him. The first time it was a 3. This time it's the 15-footer.
Titans have a 12-8 lead. Militello with a sweeping dribble to the baseline, draws the double, kicks it out to Dotlich, backs up on a 3, no good. And Schumacher elevates for the rebound. Titans up by 4. Key pushes, bounce pass. A two-hopper to Wallen, back out to Schumacher for 3. Got it.
They can't leave him open. I think Elmhurst might have to burn an early timeout here. Down by 7. Nope, they're going to push the pace back the other direction.
15-8, the Titans have the advantage. Thomas, top of the key, looks things over with a bounce. Backdoor finds Rhodey for 2.
Yeah, they're spreading it out 5 high. It's leaving the middle of the lane open, and that's the second time that the Titans have gotten beat on the back door. But nice job by Elmhurst really opening up the lane.
15-10 to Wesleyan, high-scoring affair, 4 minutes in. Schumacher left side draws the double. He'll put up a long 2, and he hits.
And we saw early in the year, Eric, when he gets hot, he could carry you offensively, and he was hot early on. He's cooled off here as the season's gone on. Nice to see him have one of those nights tonight.
He has 7. That's the Titans' lead. Dotlich baseline again from Militello. He'll fade over Wallen, airballed it. Rebound to Laywards. Titans push the ball. Pass ahead to Lambesis. 2-on-2. Lambesis leans in. Drew contact. Foul on the floor against Jake Rhodey as the Titans continue to push it.
Well, I guess if there was any question what kind of pace Illinois Wesleyan was going to play at, it's been answered here in the first 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Already 17 points on the board. Illinois Wesleyan really struggled to score Saturday against Augustana, especially in the second half. As, boy, Augustana took away everything at the rim, really pressured and took the Titans off the three-point line as well. 2 fouls on the Blue Jays. The inbound to Laywards, top of the key. Thought about the shot, didn't take it. Bear goes out to Schumacher as he cuts into the paint, drive at the dish to an open Wallen for 3, and he hits from the corner. Well, it is a wide-open Doug Wallen as well. And, boy, Kendrick Schumacher doing anything he wants offensively here to start this one.
20-10. The Titans are with a double-digit lead nearly 5 minutes in. Perry. And he goes top of the key to Ibrahim Job, a 6'9 junior from Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Ball knocked away, steal in the backcourt. Lambesis runs it down, and the uncontested dunk.
Yeah, it's time for a timeout for Elmhurst. Boy, you talk about energy from Illinois Wesleyan. They are off to a great start. That's 22-10 the score. He's trying to get Charlie Bear right now back into the huddle. He had a few words there for the Elmhurst team as he was heading back to the huddle that time. And the Titans off to a blistering start here in the first 5-12.
Yeah, indeed, they are lighting it up early as we check our stats, sponsored by Crabtree Financial, a proud supporter of Titan Athletics. Wesleyan 9 of 13 from the field, 69%, and they are 3 for 4 from three-point range. Blue Jays not bad, 4 for 6 from the field and 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. Hard to imagine a team shooting that well, down by 12 points in such a condensed amount of time. But the Titans are +2 on the boards, and they are +4 in turnovers.
Yeah, but look at the types of looks that Illinois Wesleyan's getting. I mean, Condre Schumacher wide open. Doug Wallen was absolutely wide open in the corner. So doing a good job of getting dribble penetration to the middle of the floor, dumping it inside of the big guys, playing good inside-out basketball, and also getting some baskets in transition. I mean, we just didn't see any of that on Saturday. Augustana completely shut down transition as well. It was a half-court basketball game against the Vikings for the most part, especially in the second half. So they've gotten a lot of things we didn't see on Saturday, especially in half number 2 against Augustana. But a great start, and you have a team averaging 85 points per game like Elmhurst is a long way to go here at the Shirk Center tonight.
New player comes in for the Blue Jays. Dominic Jenko, a 6'3" junior from Zionsville, Indiana, who is averaging 7 per game coming in. Militello on the left side. He'll stroke a 3. Well contested, but he sinks it over Bear.
Yeah, nice job squaring up right there. They were getting ready to set that high ball screen. And Charlie getting ready to guard the ball screen that time. Might have taken a half step back, and he drilled it right over the top of him.
Boy, where would they be without those three-point shots they've been sinking? Wallen on the drive. Titans lead by 9. Lambesis gets it off at the pass from Bear. Now he'll feed Charlie down to the post. One-on-one. Bounces it back out, threw it away. The steal by Jenko for the Blue Jays. Scampers into the front court. Bounce pass into heavy traffic and stolen by Lambesis. Back the other way. Pete into the front court. Skips it across to Wallen, has a seam and glides in for 2.
That's as easy a basket as Doug's gotten all year, and against transition. You talk about the three-point shots, they've got 3 of them for Elmhurst and none from Dotlich or Rhodey.
24-13, Titans on top. As Job hands off to Dotlich, left-hand dribble, sporting the headband, overhead pass to the right side to Jenko. Backs it up against Schumacher, top of the key to Militello. Moves in off a pick by Job. Looking, he's open, 15-footer from the elbow, no good. Bear rebounds for Wesleyan.
Yeah, maybe 2 open that time, pulled the string just a little bit and came up short on the shot.
Lambesis over to Schumacher. Darts a pass baseline, and it's inside to Lambesis for 2.
I'll tell you what, that interior defense for Elmhurst is really struggling here to start the contest. Boy, 26 on the board for the Titans, and we're not even 7 minutes in.
Schumacher, great start, 7 points, and a laser that he threw down low to Lambesis for the bucket. Jenko got pushed on the dribble drive by Charlie Bear. No, it's going to be against Schumacher, and that is the Titans' first foul tonight.
Yeah, we're going to see Corey No now into the game for the first time for Illinois Wesleyan. It's been outstanding coming off the bench, putting points on the board. Might see a little bit more of Cody Mitchell as well here this evening, as the rotation has to go a little deeper with Luke Yoder out for the rest of the year. Going to give some of those young guys, though, some great opportunities to get some minutes on the floor.
Elmhurst inbounds. They have 2 new players in with the ball now is Jonathan Zapinski, a freshman from Southlake, Texas. Now deep at the right wing, it's Jenko. Top of the key to Zapinski. Now on the left side is Brad Hutley, a 6'4" senior from Elk Grove, Illinois. And we have a kicked ball underneath, so the Blue Jays will get it back.
Now we saw Illinois Wesleyan getting beat on some of those back cuts first couple minutes of the contest. They've done a much better job of clogging up that lane here the last few minutes. Blue Jays are making it a little harder for Elmhurst to make those penetrating passes.
Rhodey with the inbound to Sapinski on the right wing. Shot clock reset at 20. Sapinski looks for a handoff. Now goes out on top to Jenko. Rolls off a pair of screens. Left-hand dribble. Looking for help. Finds backdoor Rhodey. He'll scoop up an impossible shot, and he banked it in from directly underneath the basket.
Yeah, can't defend that any better. That was well done by the Titans right there. He just made a terrific shot.
That'll win horse every time as Corey No pulls up, missed the 15-footer, and Joe pulls the rebound down for the Blue Jays. Back the other way to Jenko in transition with a no-look ahead to Job, has it rejected by Alex O'Neal. Now No ahead to Lambesis. Puts on the brakes. O'Neal had 3 blocks against Augie on Saturday. Had a spirited performance on senior night, and he tried to find Lambesis and shoveled it out of bounds.
He had a little bit of ball pressure right there against Alex O'Neal, and maybe in that loss that the Titans had, his performance was a little bit overshadowed how well Alex played on the defensive end, and he did make a big difference where the Titans trailed by 12, 13 points early in that second half. Alex came in and really stabilized things on the defensive end, and he was a big part of trying to get the Titans back in that game on Saturday.
26-15, Titans on top, 8 minutes gone by first half. Job at the right side had it poked away, gets it back, looking for help, back out to Jenko, tries to set a pick for him. Janko weaves his way inside, double clutches, no shot out to Hubley. He falls down, unloads just in time. Shot clock at 4 to travel, called against Janko.
Yeah, you can see the Titans doing a much better job of helping, rotating, covering up on the shooters. And really, that was a good defensive possession there for Illinois Wesleyan. But, boy, you talk about playing with a sense of desperation. It just seems like the Titans have really come out that way tonight. They are really getting after on the defensive end. Good rotation so far, and, boy, they have gotten up and down the floor on the offensive end. We'll see Jake Rohde come to the bench. Illinois Wesleyan, you can tell, but they have put a persistent effort in keeping the ball out of his hands as much as possible. He's going to cause them some problems, trying to deny him the ball as much as they possibly can.
Nick Perry now in for Rohde. Titans lead by 11. Lambesis gets it down low to Bear, balled it up, and he tried to reverse it. Went straight up into the air and missed it. Job has the rebound for the Blue Jays. Perry into the front court, sets up left side against Lambesis. On the cut, finds Dotlich in the corner. Dotlich overhead pass back out to Perry. Perry looks for a screen. Lambesis tries to force him into his left. He takes it down to the rack, draws the double, kicks it out. Dotlich raises a three, spins out. His first miss. Bear rebounds. Lob ahead to Schumacher. Blue Jays get back. Schumacher weaves through traffic, backs up into a three, and it's long. Pulled down by Dotlich for Elmhurst. Blue Jays down by 11. Dotlich in transition, takes it all the way to the bucket behind the goal, kicks it out to Perry for three. That's long. Job rebounds. Job looks to reset, goes back up and scores.
Yeah, nice soft touch by Job, using those long arms to go up and snatch that rebound and putting it home. The Titans have hit a little bit of a cold spell. It was going to happen, but they got off such a blistering start.
Yeah, still on pace for triple digits at 26-17. O'Neal backdoor finding Lambesis, but he couldn't finish it. He was well contested, too. Blue Jays were able to distract him and knock it away. Dotlich grabs the loose ball. He sets up on the right side. Out to Perry. Left side to Sapinski on the perimeter. Gets it down low to Job. Guarded by O'Neal. Backing down, draws the double. Kicks it back out to Sapinski. Right side to Dotlich. Looks for a pick. Goes to the left. Moves inside. Pulls up. 12-footer. Back rimmed it. And a push against O'Neal as Sapinski sold it well. Scrambling for the rebound off an off-balance shot that hit the backboard first and then the rim. Wallander will get the foul.
Yeah, good call by the official that time as Elmhurst had great position inside. Now, we talked about Elmhurst's ability to rebound. It's going to be a challenge for the Titans here tonight as Elmhurst starting to scratch and claw their way back into this one.
10-10 to go in the first half. Titans lead by 9. Job with the catch at the right wing. Kicks it out to Janko, and he's going to be called for a carry.
Yeah, good ball pressure again by Illinois Wesleyan, doing a nice job getting up in the passing lanes. Boy, the Titans, 2 of the 3 last times down, they have gotten really good looks at the basket. You saw Lambesis get one right at the rim. Even Charlie Bear had a nice move inside, and hopefully the Titans will be able to finish here on their next couple of possessions. They've gotten some good looks.
Sophomore Corey Noah brings it up, gives to Leyritz with a handoff to Schumacher. Schumacher angles right, kicks into the corner to Noah. Back out to Leyritz for three, rimming short, no. And we saw Cody Mitchell flying in for the rebound of the freshman, able to draw a foul and a push off against Elmhurst, and this one is on Zapinski, his first and the team's third.
Yeah, trying to block out that time to keep Mitchell away from that rebound, a little bit too much body. As Leyritz was able to step out, let's see if Wallen gets a shot here.
Wallen baseline jumper, 8-footer, no good, and Leyritz may have got away with it over the back, and he lunges toward the Elmhurst bench and throws it back into play, but throws it to the Blue Jays. Now Perry sets up, swings it to the right side to Dotlich for three, got it.
Hey, Dotlich, that was a great job coming off that down screen, a little fade towards the corner, opening up enough room to be able to knock down that three-pointer.
Blue Jays have cut the lead down to 6. It was 13 not long ago. Schumacher on the dribble drive and blocked by Job, even with the left hand by Schumacher. The save by No, and his baseline shot is long. Dotlich corrals the rebound for Elmhurst. And the handoff to Perry, back to Dotlich with a quick step baseline. He'll throw it inside to Job, and the paint rattles home, and the lead down to 4.
Now the Titans were blistering on offense to start, where they have not looked good here about the last 4 minutes, and Elmhurst right back in the contest here, 26-22.
Now we'll take a quick timeout. This is Illinois Wesleyan Titan basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WEXG, Rock of the Heartland. Well, when these two teams met back in Elmhurst a couple of weeks ago, the Blue Jays reeled off 20 in a row late in the first half to take control of the game. Now the run is not quite that dramatic tonight, at least not yet, and the Titans were in a better position to withstand that kind of a rally as they led by 13, but they've gone 4 minutes and 22 seconds without a point. The Blue Jays have scored 9 straight to get the lead down to 4.
Yeah, the Titans have gotten good looks at the basket. They just haven't been able to knock anything down here the last 2 or 3 minutes. We'll see if they can get things going offensively. Got off to a great start in this contest, but pretty poor shooting ever since.
Senior Bernie Coderre takes over at the point with Cody Mitchell, along with Laritz. Lambesis into Wallen. Turnaround by Laritz off the glass for 2.
Well, you can see what they talked about in the huddle right there. Haven't been able to get anything going from the outside or the dribble drive. Let's pound that ball down in the block.
Thomas with an overhead pass down low to Jenko, cutting to the right, and his shot came up short. It might have been tipped, and Laritz wins the rebound. Coderre going ahead to Mitchell, back to Coderre, swings the left side to No. In the corner to Wallen. One hop down low to Laritz, backing down on Thomas. Now he fronts him, takes him down deep into the paint, pulls up, line drive, shot, comes up short. Militello rebounds for Elmhurst.
I'd love to see Matt going towards the basket instead of fading away. That's where he's going to be better. Take it strong.
Thomas with a quick step going to the rack against Laritz, and he drew the foul on number 0. That's the first on Laritz in the team's third of the half.
Now looks like that's going to be quite a matchup. Thomas against Laritz. They're going to be seeing a lot of each other as the game goes on. As Jake Rohde now back in the contest here for the Blue Jays. Titans have done a nice job on him so far.
Rohde one bound to the baseline, lobs it in play to Thomas. Thomas looks for a target, swings it out to Perry, and he launches it to the opposite end. Nice save by Dolitz in front of the Wesleyan bench, heaves it toward the basket, and Mitchell gets the recovery for the Titans. Pushing back the other way, 2-on-3. Cross-court pass, Wallen to Coderre. Coderre on the wing. He'll cross-court the ball to Lambesis. Lambesis, the penetration got stripped out of bounds. Perry knocked it out. It'll still be Titan ball. As we see Laritz a return for Mitchell.
Yeah, good hands by Perry that time. Looked like Lambesis had a lane going left, and that's what he loves to see. But couldn't get all the way to the rack that time. And Coach Baines will have a conversation now with the official down in the corner. 7:54 to go, first half. Titans up 28-22.
And it will be Lambesis to trigger. In play to Bear, gets it back to Lambesis, squares for 3, high arcing shot, rushed it, but got it back at the free throw line. They'll bounce it back out to Coderre, and they'll reset into the corner to Wallen, feeds Bear in the post. Bear 1-on-1 into the green space, looks left, goes right up and under left hand, and it got stuck between the rim and the backboard. And that will go as an alternate possession to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, you love to see Charlie spin back to that right hand. That's where he's more comfortable, able to finish inside. Decided to go to the left there in the middle and missed the shot. And the Titans, again, a good look inside. I think, Eric, if they continue to pound it in there, they're going to find some success there on the block.
Nick Perry brings it up against Coderre. Titans lead 28-22. 7:30 to go in the first half. Perry into the front court. Militello top of the key from Thomas. Chest pass left side to Rohde. One hopper down low to Thomas. Backing down on Laritz. Bumps him. The jump hook. Short. Rebound Bear. His arms got tangled up with the Militello. And Jay Militello, the junior, will pick up the foul.
Let's see if Elmhurst might be going a little full court pressure here. Just a quick update from Rock Island. North Central 29, Augustana 17, 6:47 to go. First half in that one, and a lot of big games in the CCIW as we've seen all year long, but the biggest one tonight happening in Rock Island, and the Cardinals lead by 12.
And winner of that game assumes the top spot heading into the final 3 games of the season. Conference tournament begins in less than 2 weeks, so the winner there will be on the inside track to host in late February. Lambesis left side for Wallen, down low to Laritz, banging with Thomas, and he'll be called for the foul. He was leaning in strong against Levon Thomas, trying to nullify the size advantage. And Coach Rose is seeking an explanation. Now Alex O'Neill comes back in as Laritz leaves with a second foul.
Titans picking up a little bit full court pressure here. And they're going to back up now into their man-to-man. Boy, they've done a nice job against Rhodey here so far in this contest. Just trying to keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible. They've done a really nice job of that here so far.
They've held him to 4 points. One shot was an impossible look underneath as he scoops it up again to the baseline off the feed from Thomas. He was fouled before the shot.
Yeah, he's had to go backdoor quite a bit. You can obviously see Peter Lambesis overplaying him, full denial position. And they've just tried to keep the ball out of his hands, and it's been pretty effective.
First foul on Lambesis, team's fifth. Now Thomas moves into the paint. He'll fade from the right elbow and sinks it.
Yeah, not much you can do about that. That's a step back, fade away over a 6'9" player with an outstanding reach on the outside.
First basket of the game for Thomas. Lead down to 4. Schumacher roams to the left side. Swings it out to Lambesis. Steers right for Wallen. Wallen goes to baseline. Hands it back to Schumacher. Rolls off a pick by O'Neal. Swings to left for Lambesis. Right wing. Wallen strokes a 3 and hits.
So he got a really good look at that three-point shot. And when Doug follows through and gets some arch on it, it looks awfully good coming out. And that one went straight down.
Wallen has 11. First in double figures. Titans lead 31-24. Rhodey off a screen. Out to Thomas. He'll stroke a 3. Back rimmed it. Wallen to get to the rebound. Leads it to Schumacher. 3-on-3. Schumacher will wait as he collects the dribble. Crosses over into the paint, floats it from 6, banked it in for 2.
That's what you want to see out of Keandre right there. Attack that basket, use that first step. That's an explosive first step we love to see.
33-24, 9 for Schumacher. And the Blue Jays called timeout with 5:37 to go in the first half. We'll take a quick timeout. This is Titan Basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WBXG, Rock in the Heartland. Illinois Wesleyan's women and Milliken are going down to the wire in Decatur, tied at 69 and with 1:13 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll keep you updated on that contest, which started earlier tonight because of the road conditions with all the snow that we've been dealing with in central Illinois. As the Blue Jays inbound the ball, it's Thomas at the top of the key with a jump, step, and hands off to Rhodey. Crosses over, gets it back to Thomas, but it was wide. Chased down, though, on the opposite end by Jenko. Now going baseline is Militello. Challenged by Bear, went for the block, and he'll be called for the foul.
Now, so far, the difference in the ball game has really been turnovers. Elmhurst with 8 turnovers, the Titans with 3. And the Titans have converted that into 10 points off turnovers so far. Elmhurst usually takes care of the ball pretty well, but not so far here in the first half. Was pretty well defended that time by the Titans. Official thought there was a little bit too much contact at the rim. The first free throw comes up a little bit short there for the Blue Jays.
Militello, a junior from Elmwood Park, Illinois, is a 58% free throw shooter. The Blue Jays are second best in the conference at 74% at the stripe. Second one is long, and O'Neal has the rebound.
Yeah, short on the first, long on the second. So the Titans catch a break there as he goes 0 for 2.
Now it's Lambesis on the left side. Titans lead by 9. O'Neal right side to Wallen. Wallen holds the rock high, kicks it out to Schumacher. He'll swing it into the corner to Lambesis. Baseline for O'Neal. Backing down on Thomas. Flips it back out to Lambesis. Crosses over at the left elbow. Flips it out to Schumacher. Shot clock at 8. Long 3 short by Schumacher. Rebound to Militello for the Blue Jays. He has a seam. Hustles it up court. Sets up on the baseline. Throws it behind Janko, but he runs it down. Nearly got undercut by Lambesis, but was able to get a clean recovery. Pulls up with the free throw line. Back out to Thomas. Wheels in on O'Neal with a hard dribble. Into the paint. Spun around. Lost it. Got it back. Falls down. Finds Janko. Jump step. Collides with O'Neal. And a ball jarred loose. Taken by Wallen. Back the other way. Bear in heavy traffic. He'll wait and allow his teammates to catch up. Get the ball to the guards. Baseline, it's O'Neal, and a quick reach in on Levon Thomas. He gets the foul.
Boy, how about Alex O'Neal on the defensive end? Terrific job getting that vertical, going straight up in the air, and force that turnover. Talked about his defensive effort on Saturday, continuing it so far here today, as we'll get Corey No on the floor for Illinois Wesleyan. Titans going double bigs here against the Blue Jays.
Second foul on Thomas, their 5th for the half, and the inbound goes to Wallen underneath the basket, got bottled up, but the shot came up short. Blue Jays get the rebound.
Yeah, another good look. Boy, getting right there from 2 feet.
Rhodey jackknifes inside between 2 defenders and threw up a tough shot, and he's holding his, looked like initially he was holding his wrist behind his back. Looks like he's okay as he goes to the line, as he has a couple of free throws coming his way. Corey No got the foul.
Yeah, 17th foul against the Titans, so Elmhurst now enters the bonus situation here at the 4:11 mark of the first half.
Rhodey is an 83%, make that 81% free throw shooter. That's 6th best in the conference. They have the best free throw shooter in the league at Derek Dotlich at 94%. Rhodey makes the first.
Carroll leads Wheaton at halftime 34-31, another game that we're keeping our eyes on tonight across the CCIW.
Carroll out of contention for the CCIW, but Elmhurst is the team breathing down the necks of the Titans, just a game behind them and awaiting the Titans on Saturday at King Arena. Both free throws go for Rhodey, lead down to 7 for the Titans. 4 minutes still halftime. Wallen, Lambesis backs down on Jenko. The jump hook blocked by the help defender, Job, and it goes to Rhodey.
Yeah, never saw him coming. Job did a great job there coming from that weak side.
Rhodey draws the double, swings it out to Zapinski. Right side to Jenko, back out to Zapinski, out of Dotlich. Wheels to the left, left-hand dribble with a handoff to Rhodey. Stares down, Lambesis now backs up near midcourt. 12 to shoot, cross court to Jenko. Moving screen, an offensive foul is called against Jonathan Zapinski.
I tell you what, Peter Lambesis is playing a terrific game right now for the Titans. Doing an awesome job so far on the defensive end. He has been able to deny Rhodey the basketball all over the floor so far. Rhodey's got 6 points and hasn't missed a shot yet. 2 for 2 from the floor and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. But boy, Lambesis has done a great job on him in the first half.
33-26. Lambesis with a no-look bounce pass baseline to O'Neal. Back out to Lambesis, right side to No. A tough 3, and he buries it from the wing.
Yeah, he's not shy, no doubt about that. And Corey No knocks it down. Titans back to a double-digit lead.
36-26, No's first basket. Rhodey angling inside with the bounce pass to Job for the flush.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets right there. Boy, talk about dropping a dime. My goodness. Threw it right past a couple of defenders. Good help defense by the Titans. And boy, that was well done by Jake Rhodey.
6 for Job off the bench. 36-28, Wesleyan leads. Under 3 minutes still halftime. No thought about the shot, pulled the string back as he elevated and gave it off to Lambesis. Wallen backs down, left elbow back out to Bear for 3, long. Rebound to Wallen. Titans reset. Back out to Lambesis with a spin move. Shuffles the baseline, runs into a double team, now leads in and hits it off the glass for 2 and draws the foul.
Boy, it didn't look pretty, but got the job done right there. Lost the ball maybe 2 or 3 times. Able to pick it back up and bank it in. And the Titans go back up by 10. Colin Cheney will get in the lineup here. 6'4" junior enters the lineup for Illinois Wesleyan. As Doug Wallen will take a seat. I don't think we're going to see Matt Leyritz again for the rest of the half. He picked up that second foul a few minutes ago. As Lambesis is free throw around and out.
And the Blue Jays get the rebound. Zapinski exits with his 3rd foul of the half. And it's Jenko at the point along with the Rhodey. Actually, no, Zapinski still won the game, beg your pardon. Titans lead by 10. Now it's Zapinski, deep on the right. Over to Rhodey. He'll lean into a 3 and banks it in as his legs cut out like scissors to free himself, and he knocked it in.
Yeah, certainly did. Straight on bank. He'll take it. Still hasn't missed a shot tonight, but boy, the Titans have really done a nice job defensively.
9 for Rhodey tonight. Job gambled on the steal, didn't get it. Under 2 minutes still halftime. Bear backs down just outside the half circle. Turnaround came up short. Job rips away the rebound for Elmhurst.
Yeah, those are the kind of shots you got to make right there. Boy, you get to that drop step to the right hand, you got to put that one home.
And now Bear fouls Rhodey as he circled around him. And that is the second on Charlie Bear.
And now we're starting to see what Jake Rhodey can do. The ball in his hands. They've done a great job keeping it out of his hands so far. Once he gets it, though, he can create for others. So I'm knocked down a 3 a second ago, even if it was a bank shot that was rather fortunate. Now he gets himself to the line and caused you a lot of problems with the ball in his hand. Boy, Lambesis has been all over him from the very beginning. And Pete's done a nice job.
9 points for Rhodey. as he shoots a 1 in bonus. The first one is good. He's the first Blue Jay to reach double digits tonight, averaging 21.2 per game. That is tops in the CCIW for the third-year starter. Second one for Rhodey is nothing but net. 38-33, Titans lead. They've led for most of the first half. Their biggest lead has been 13. Lambesis at the top. Screen to the left by O'Neill. Left side to Colin Cheney. Lost the ball, got it back, kicks it out to Lambesis. Right side to No with a quick step. Floats it out to Wallen. Wallen reverses, has an open Lambesis for three. Off the heel. Rebound to Rhodey for the Blue Jays. As he looks things over, runs in heavy traffic, and that poked away by No. It rolls away at a good recovery by the Blue Jays as Rhodey tapped it to Dotlich, who drives in and gets the offensive foul as he bowled over Colin Cheney.
Yeah, nice job by Colin that time. Did a great job of getting those heels outside the arc. And a good call by the official right there as Dotlich has put his head down going to the basket. Schumacher will come back in the lineup here. Well, the Titans had built a nice 13-point lead earlier in the contest. Able to get it back to double digits, now down to 5 here. We'll see who can close the first half strong.
38-33 as Lambesis brings it up against man-to-man defense to Schumacher. Now the wall on top of the key, under a minute. Schumacher right side, roams to the left, now to Cheney, into the corner to Wallen. Sidesteps his man, sweeping dribble. It had it knocked out of bounds. His defender is Hunter Merritt, 6'4" sophomore from Tri-Valley High School. He is a Bloomington product. 12 on the shot clock for the Titans.
And was almost able to knock it off Doug that time out of bounds. Fortunate for the Titans.
And the inbound inside to O'Neill off his fingertips, but he goes back to get it. Swings it out. And now they'll reset. Schumacher roams to the right. Draws the double, in trouble, fading a tough three. Shot it long, but Lambesis gets the rebound, and they'll bring it back out. They don't have the final shot of the half, but they'll milk a few more seconds. Game clock at 30. Titans lead by 5. Schumacher drives, hooks it over to O'Neill. O'Neill with a ball fake. Won't shoot that. Key for a three. That's long. Job Tipson controls the rebound. Now the Blue Jays get the final shot of the half as Rhodey slows it down.
Yeah, Elmhurst doing a much better job getting up on Keandre Schumacher as the half has gone on. They've been able to make him take some very difficult shots over the top.
Rhodey weaving through traffic. He'll hook it over to an open man. It's Merritt for three. That one's long, and Schumacher gets the rebound, and that brings us to the end of the first half. Illinois Wesleyan at 38 and 17th ranked Elmhurst 33. We have plenty coming up at halftime. We'll take a look at the first half stats, have a scoreboard update, and we'll introduce you to the new commissioner of the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin, Maureen Hardy. That is coming up after this 2-minute timeout. This is Illinois Wesleyan Titan basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WEXG, Rock in the Heartland.
The Titans would like to thank Metal Construction and Restoration for supporting Illinois Wesleyan Athletics and the Titan Cleanup Crew. Metal Construction and Restoration is Central Illinois' trusted first choice option for residential and commercial damage repair. Metal is there for the Titans and they can be there for you. Thank you, Metal Construction and Restoration.
And welcome back to Shirk Center at Illinois Wesleyan University. Eric Stock with Joel Swanson and Nathan Schertz in studio. At halftime, the Titans have a 38-33 lead over the Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Glad to have you along tonight. Also, our video feed on iwsports.com. We'll look at the first half stats here in just a moment, but first we want to welcome a special guest tonight, Maureen Hardy, who is the new commissioner of the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. I say new. This is her first year taking over for Chris Martin back before the fall. And Maureen, we appreciate you taking time to join us tonight. Coming from
I lost you, Eric.
Maureen, can you hear me okay? Maureen comes from the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and we are going to try to reconnect with her in just a moment. We will take a timeout and have more in just a moment. This is Titan Basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WBXG, Rock of the Heartland. All right, welcome back to Shirk Center. Looks like we've reestablished our connection with Maureen Hardy, the commissioner of the CCIW. And Maureen, if you could just talk about the transition that you have made going from the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference to the CCIW. How has that been like for you here in your first year?
It's been fantastic. You know, Chicago is home for me, so it was great to get back to this area and to schools that I had grown up, you know, cheering for, and my high school friends went to. So it's been great. Obviously, the CCIW is an extremely competitive conference. I think it's one of the most competitive in the country. We've proven that with our fall success. We had 2 Sweet 16 teams in men's and women's soccer. We had a Final Four team in women's volleyball, second place in men's cross country, and obviously our national championship with North Central football winning the Stag Bowl. So that's unprecedented across the country, and it's very, very exciting to be here and to work with these phenomenal institutions and their coaches and administrators.
Yeah, it was quite a landmark moment for North Central to win the national championship in football, and they weren't even the top team in the regular season in the conference. Wheaton beat them earlier in the year. But what does that national championship do to raise the profile of the CCIW nationally against so many of the powerhouse programs and conferences?
It really elevates the entire facade of the conference across all sports. I was down at the Stag Bowl, and North Central became kind of everyone's darling, everyone's Cinderella. They were probably the last team put in the bracket, and then they come out on top. And so it really raised awareness across the country of who is in the CCIW and how successful we are. It was great to be able to tell that story. And I think all of our football programs, as well as our other programs, are seeing an increase in recruiting and attention that championship has brought for all of us.
The conference has also added lacrosse, men's volleyball in recent years. Are there other programs or offerings that the league is considering, or is it more an effort to get more of those schools participating in those newer programs?
It's a little bit of both. We have some associate members in wrestling right now, but Carthage will be adding wrestling next year, so we'll have that to add to our grouping. We are seeing schools adding women's wrestling, and so we don't know where that will go, but if we do get to 5 teams, then we will create that as a CCIW sport. Next year we'll have 5 bowling teams, so we're currently working with the teams to see what they want to do, and we may be sponsoring women's bowling in the very near future. So it's an exciting time. There's a lot of growth on our campuses, and the institutions really are valuing what athletics brings to the college campus. Not only the student athletes, but just the school spirit and the variety of offerings that they have really makes for that great experience, whether you're a student athlete or just a student at that institution.
And if we can turn our attention to basketball as we talk with CCIW Commissioner Maureen Hardy. The league last year expanded its postseason tournament to 6 teams from 4, essentially adding a play-in round. Now, that was before your arrival, but I'm curious what kind of feedback that you've heard from coaches and athletic directors about how that went. Are they satisfied with the continuing to do that in the foreseeable future, or making more adjustments?
I think we're good right now at 6. If you look at the depth within our conference, 6 is a great number. Doesn't mean that 6 is going to get blown out that first round. Our 6th place teams, who are the teams that are currently sitting in 6th place, have beat some of the top 5 teams. So I think 6 is a great number for us. We have such parity in our league, both on the men's and women's side. And so I'm really excited for the next couple weeks, because I just don't even know where the standings are going to fall out.
Yes, 6 this year seems to work perfectly, because that seems to be where the demarcation line is, and I guess we've seen that in past years where you feel bad for the 5th-ranked team playing the top schools in the country, and they may have a winning record, but they still can't quite get in. But it does mix things up for the top schools. They potentially could take an additional loss going into the tournament, so maybe that's the potential downside of that.
I think it's a mixed bag. I think when you have good 6 strong teams, it doesn't hurt your strength of schedule. And playing in the CCIW, which we saw in football, it really prepares you for that postseason. So you might get that Tuesday off, but you have to win 2 games back to back in order to get that automatic qualifier. So I'm really confident that with the parity that we have, playing in the tournament will help our teams when it comes to NCAA championship time.
And the Titans are hoping to do that too, but they've got their work cut out for them. And Maureen, as you replace Chris Martin, who held that post for 17 years and made his mark on the league during a time of dramatic transition for college athletics from the turn of the century to now, how are you looking to make your mark as you take over the reins?
Well, we're really focusing on the student-athlete experience within the conference and trying to make sure that our conference championships feel special. They feel different than just a regular season game. So that's one of our goals. And then we're going to look to trying to increase the CCIW brand. We're very fortunate that we'll celebrate the 75th anniversary of the CCIW next year. So we're currently putting together a plan on how we're going to celebrate that, not only on our campuses, but also with the conference office.
Oh, well, we will look forward to hearing more about that. We appreciate the time, Maureen, and best of luck to you. Safe travels throughout the rest of the CCIW winter season and the spring campaign as well, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Great. Thanks so much, Eric. Have a good night.
All righty. Thank you. You as well. That is Maureen Hardy, who is the new commissioner of the CCIW, joining us here at halftime here this evening. As the Titans lead 38-33 at the break over the Elmhurst College Blue Jays, and we'll take a look at the numbers here for the first half in just a moment. But first, let's look around the CCIW. The Titan women came up short against Milliken, 75-71, as Olivia Lett's team, the former Titan coach, former Titan player, led her team to victory over the Titans, 75-71. Now back to the men. At halftime at Rock Island, North Central is romping 46-25 over Augustana at a battle of the CCIW leaders. Early second half at Carroll, the Pioneers lead Wheaton 42-39, and Carthage has a 56-34 lead over North Park. They are 5 minutes into the second half. First half stats here tonight. As the Titans lead 38-35, Titans shot 40% from the field, 16 out of 40, and 5 of 14 from three-point range for 36%, and 1 of 2 at the free throw line. They shot the ball fairly well. They cooled off, but they were able to get a lot more possessions. They were +8 in turnovers. Blue Jays had 11. Titans had just 3. Rebounds were even at 18 apiece. Blue Jays shot 52% from the floor. They were 12 out of 23, 5 of 10 from three-point range for 50%. That kept them in it. And they were 4 for 6 from the free throw line for 67%. Individual numbers, Doug Wallen led the Titans with 11 points, while Keandre Schumacher had 9, Matt Leyritz had 2, getting the start with Luke Yoder out for the rest of the season with a broken hand. Pete Lambisa 6 points, 3 rebounds. Corey No had 3 points. Charlie Bear 2 points, 5 rebounds. While Alex O'Neill, Cody Mitchell, Barney Coder, and Colin Cheney did not score. Blue Jays led by Jake Rody with 11 points on just 3 field goal attempts, and made all 3 and made all 4 of his free throws. He had 3 rebounds and 2 assists as well. They got 6 points each from Nick Perry and Ibrahim Job, who also had 6 rebounds and a pair of blocks. Derek Dotlich, 5 points, 3 rebounds. Levon Thomas had 2 points. Jamie Latello had 3. Dominic Jenko, Jonathan Sapinski, Brad Hubley, and Hunter Merritt did not score. Titans up by 5 at the break.
Yeah, Titans did a really nice job against Rody in the first half. He scored 11, but you have to remember one was a banked-in three-pointer from straight on, and the other was a reverse layup, Eric, that was just kind of hard to describe how he actually made that shot on that particular play. So he worked awfully hard to get those 11 points. I thought Pete Lambesis did a really nice job on him. He really got the ball a lot more, though, in the last 5 minutes of the half, and he made some things happen.
Yeah, the degree of difficulty on those shots was pretty staggering. Our halftime stats sponsored by Crabtree Financial, a proud supporter of Titan Athletics. As play resumes, with the Titans going right to left in the second half on your radio. Video feed on IWSports.com. Titans with the possession, up by 5. Down low goes to Bear. Bear with a spin move over Thomas. Shot it, no good. A rebound out of the hands of Joe, but it goes out of bounds. It was touched last by Joe, but the Titans will get it back.
That's a shot that Charlie's got to put home right there. He's had a few of them so far here in this ball game. They're going to need to get some inside scoring from him. Job does start the second half, did a really nice job defensively for Elmhurst in the game. He had a nice first half.
Titans have their original starting 5 on the floor. Now it's inside to Leyritz. He'll turn it with a jump hook over Job, but it rattles home.
Yeah, that's not an easy shot right there. Job's got great length. I think if you're going to go up against Job, though, maybe a head and shoulder fake next time might get him to go by.
Titans lead 40-33. Their biggest margin has been 13 tonight. Thomas, top of the key, wheels right hands off to Rody with a jump step, left elbow, holds the ball, gets it inside. It was knocked away by Bear off of Thomas's fingertips as he tried to corral it, and it carries out of bounds to the Titans.
Yeah, nice job by Charlie getting around. That time Thomas just needs to take one more step towards the basketball. That would have been a foul instead of a defensive play by Charlie Bear, but just couldn't get to the basketball. Nice job by Charlie, able to knock it away.
Now Wallen sets up on the left against Dotlich, swings it wide right to Lambesis, snipes between 2 defenders, and is called for a carry.
Yeah, good call that time by the official. Did turn that basketball over just a little bit, trying to control it. Boy, you'd love to see Matt Leyritz get that basketball inside. He's doing a great job getting position. And hopefully the Titans can start feeding that basketball into that post area. I really think they can get some buckets down there, at least get some inside-out action.
Rhodey crosses the 10-second line off a high screen by Thomas. Flips it back out to Levant. He's open. Not his shot, though. He'll wheel in left of the lane with a hard drive on Bear. Shot drops through for Levant Thomas.
Yeah, that's not an easy shot. Again, straight on, able to bank it home. Thomas showing good touch around the rim right there.
Now it's Schumacher into the front court. Titans up by a handful. Schumacher against Nick Perry. Right side to Lambesis. Gets the ball to Laritz with a head fake. Strokes, fakes a shot, goes to baseline on Joe, finds the trailer. It's Bear leaning in for two and draws the foul.
Well, good things are going to happen when you throw that ball in that post area. I really think Matt Laritz can make things happen down low once he catches it. They had to put Job in there to be able to guard him. I'm just not sure Thomas can handle him one-on-one inside that post area. Nice job by Laritz, though, stepping out to about 15 feet. Good cut by Charlie Bear going to the basket, and Charlie able to finish inside. Not well done by the Titans. You can see they're pounding that basketball inside here against Elmhurst to start the second half.
Second foul on Dotlich. Second field goal for Bear, but he missed the free throw. He's 77% at the line. Blue Jays get the rebound. Titans up by 7. Rhodey rolling off a screen with a drive and no-look dish and the dunk for Job.
Now you got to think that's going to be the action we're going to see in the second half, and Job is going to pick up a foul just trying to get down the floor right there. That's a tough one right there. He's just trying to run down the floor, and I think Peter Lambesis was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Now Coach Bain saying it might have been a flop. I'm not even sure if it was a flop that time. He hit him decently hard. It just was no intention, obviously, by Job on that particular possession.
Low intent doesn't necessarily matter.
Yeah, you're right about that, and that's a difficult one, though, and your big guy picks up a foul that far away just running down the floor.
It's his first foul and the team's second of the half as Schumacher rolls off a pair of screens. Covered by Rhodey, swings it out to Wallen. Wallen has a seam, pulls up, right elbow. Jay is good.
That's Doug's game right there. Get to 15, settle in, knock down the jump shot. Pretty well-run offense, and this is what scares you against Elmhurst. When Jake Rhodey has the basketball, he might be the scariest guy in the conference.
44-37, the lob for Joe from Thomas. Recollects, blocked from behind by Bear. Thomas recovers and powers it up for two.
Now, Job's done a nice job of stepping off, maybe towards that short corner, towards the block, feeding off of those guards, and being able to get those finishes inside.
44-39, Titans by 5. Wallen for 3, and it's good from the right corner.
Yeah, Doug's having a night, no doubt about that. Shot the ball well in the first half. Shot it well here in the second half, and Titans go up 8.
Wallen with 16 to lead all scores, 47-39. And Rhodey got tripped up by Lambesis, who picked his pocket, but picked up his second foul.
Now, Titans are going to have to figure out what they're going to do with this high ball screen because, boy, when Rhodey gets in that ball screen situation, there's so many options. He's so quick going to the basket, can pull up on the outside, but does a great job of just creating havoc with his dribble penetration. We've seen him dish the ball off for some really easy baskets for the Blue Jays.
47-39, Titans on top, looking to solidify their number 4 spot in the CCIW race and possibly move up. Top of the key, it's Thomas on the cut, finds Rhodey with a double clutch and got sandwiched by Lambesis and Bear. Lambesis went for the block and he got another foul. No, it's going to be on Bear, and that is his third, team second.
Now, Bear's been in that screen and roll situation quite a bit here so far in the second half, and Jake Rhodey knows how to sell that contact there. Did a pretty good job of selling it right there. Might not have been a tremendous amount of contact on the play, but able to get himself to the line.
Rhodey is 4 for 4 at the stripe tonight. First one is good.
They've already fouled him a couple times, and Titans right now, really missing those point guards out there. They miss Grant out there. They miss Luke Yoder. Those types of players that maybe do a little better job on what they're going to see with that speed of Rhodey turning the corner.
So Bear is out for the Titans with Corey No returning. Free throw is rimming good for Rhodey. He has 13 to lead the Blue Jays. 47-41. No gets it off of the inbound. And they'll bring it up against man-to-man defense. Bounce pass top of the gate to Laritz. Shuffles the left off a screen. Hands off to Lambesis. Pulls up. Swings it down low to Laritz. Moving one-on-one with Job. Leans in. Has it blocked. Got it back. And forced into a tie-up. As he came back down over the ball, the arrow goes to Elmhurst.
Yeah, timeout here now for Illinois Wesleyan. Going to maybe talk about how they're going to deal with that high ball screen here because Jake Rhodey has caused some problems in the last few moments.
Take a timeout with 16:35 to play. The Titans lead 47-41. Back in a moment on Classic Rock 98.3 WBXG, Rock in the Heartland. Titans up by 6 coming out of the timeout, and Blue Jays have the basketball. 16:30 to go in the second half. It is Perry on the left side with the handoff to Rhodey. Swings it back to Perry. Tees up a 3 and hits.
Well, he has shot the ball well tonight. The Titans got caught on the pick and pop, and Perry popping out to the wing, able to knock it down. I think if you're going to pick your poison, that's probably the one you're going to choose, and he's made him pay so far.
As close as the game has been since early first half. It's a 3-point game. No from Lambesis. Perry's a 3 from the Titan bench.
Yeah, Corey's hit some big shots so far this year. That was a big one right there, but if it's going to get done, this is where it's going to get done tonight. That's going to be at the defensive end.
50-44. Rhodey on the drive, and he'll one-hop it out to Perry. He'll raise another 3 and knocks it down again.
Not much you can do about that. Another one with a guy right in his face. Titans have not had bad rotations, but again, Rhodey's getting in the lane, causing all sorts of switches and movement, and it's opening up that 3-point shot.
Perry has 4 trays tonight, only 18% from deep coming into the game. In the corner, it's Wallen. Titans up by 3, pulls up, left elbow jumper, no good. Perry pulls down the rebound, leads Rhodey across the dividing line. Now he'll hold it up, giving to Dotlich. Looks to move his way inside, cut off, goes back out to Perry. Perry surveys, couple bounces to the right, goes to baseline, into the corner to Dotlich, knifes into the paint, pulls up, fades, 10-footer short. It caroms out to the 3-point line. No, with the rebound to the outlet to Schumacher, who explodes to the goal and lays it in.
The Titans have done a nice job against Dotlich. They've really taken him off the 3-point line here so far in this game. Tried to drive, shot a fadeaway, and the loose ball goes to Illinois Wesleyan for an easy hoop. Boy, Keandre Schumacher showing his explosiveness right there.
11 for Schumacher. Titans lead by 5, 52-47. On the left side, it's Perry with a handoff. Rhodey with a line drive 3, and he buries it.
Well, somebody's going to have to jump out on that right there, and nobody did. And Lambesis got stuck on a screen right there, and boy, Rhodey just buried that jumper from the outside.
He still hasn't missed. 52-50, our score, with 14:43 to play in the second half. At Rock Island tonight, North Central is really on a roll. They were up by 29. It's now 26 over the Augustana Vikings. That is a stunner.
No doubt, and especially what we saw from Augustana on Saturday.
Yeah.
Boy, the Vikings looked good. Looked like they were just starting to peak a little bit here, playing good basketball. And they're really taking it on the chin tonight. Another one that we're keeping an eye on. Carroll leads Wheaton 52-41. 9:36 to go in the second half. And Carroll is due for a win here. They have really played well this year. Haven't been able to pick up a lot of victories in the CCIW. And we'll see if they can get one tonight, as they have jumped out to an 11-point lead now in the second half. The other conference game, Carthage, right now in cruise control at home over North Park. They're up 29 with 7:42 to go in the second half. So right now, this is your closest ball game here in the conference tonight, as the Titan lead, which was 13 in the first half, had been trimmed down to 5 at halftime, is now at 2, as Elmhurst continues to make the run. And boy, Jake Rhodey has been a thorn in the side of Illinois Wesleyan here so far, but boy, Nick Perry has been huge for the Blue Jays. Talk about not a great shooter coming in, but he has been an outstanding shooter tonight.
Yeah, Penny is 4 for 5 from deep, while Rhodey has 16 points on 4 field goal attempts. He's 4 for 4. And 3 of those from deep, and has made all of his free throws. No looks to answer. His 3 from the left wing is no good. Dotlich rebounds. Now Rhodey will hustle it up. Crossover dribble. Goes to the baseline. Able to sweep it around to Job for 2. And the game is tied.
Yeah, the help side defense just a half step slow there for Illinois Wesleyan coming on the backside. Rhodey drawing so many defenders.
Job has 10 off of the bench. 52 apiece. Wall on top of the key, roams to the right, one hops down low to Leyritz with a turnaround for 2 over Job.
Yeah, nice job that time by Matt Leyritz, getting a nice seal right there, able to finish inside.
He's the third Titan in double figures with 11. 54-52, Wesleyan on top. Rhodey pulls up in the paint, pivots, and somehow kept that foot on the floor. Unloads to Thomas and gets it back. Draws the double, kicks it to Perry. Perry the drive of the dish, batted away. Back to Perry, and he threw it away. Caught in midair, trying to find a target, and threw it to the sideline.
Now you can see the way he has shot the ball. The Titans had to close out on him really, really hard right there. Caused a blow by. Perry got in the lane. I thought he might pull up and shoot that little 10-footer. Had a nice little look in there. Decided to dish it off, and it cost him.
54-52, Wesleyan on top. Baseline to Wallen. Shot came up short. Job rebounds for Elmhurst. Perry gets it back to Rhodey. Rhodey penetrates to the goal, scoops it up and scores.
Yeah, still has not missed a shot in the contest. Going to the left hand right there. And he's dished it off so many times, you're really hesitant to step over.
And Rhodey with 18 points, and we're deadlocked at 54. 13:08 to go in the second half. Still a lot of basketball left. Baseline spin move. Lambesis kicks it out to No, but the jab step high dribble, the float, and the dish inside to Laritz for two.
Yeah, Corey No's made some nice plays here the last couple possessions for the Titans. Got in the lane that time, able to knock it home. Thought maybe for a second the Titans might go zone. They're dealing with so much penetration, but Elmhurst's ability to shoot probably keeps them out of that 2-3 zone.
56-54, Titans by a bucket. Baseline, Rhodey behind the goal, flips it up and scores.
Yeah, they might be forced to play a little bit of zone here. They just cannot keep Rhodey out of the lane. As you got a host of subs getting ready to come in, and the problem you deal with the 2-3 is the Blue Jays' ability to hit that three-point shot.
56-56 with a 12:24 to go. On the right side, it's Lambesis. Baseline to Laritz. Moving in with a jump hook, and it rattles home.
Yeah, they're going to have to get around him in the post. They're letting Matt catch from about 3-4 feet away, and he is having his way inside over the top of Job.
He's had 3 straight buckets now with the 15. A 3 by Rhodey. His first miss, but he gets it back, and then it rolls away. Picked up by Thomas. Charging into the paint, and it's an offensive foul on Thomas.
Put his head down right there, and he ran right over Pete Lambesis. I tell you, Pete's got to be tired. They're going to have to give him a couple of breaks because he's having to play Jake Rhodey pretty much. As soon as he gets over half court, he's having to pick him up and having to play him off all those screens. As the Blue Jays have really tightened down their rotation here in the second half, have not brought nearly as many guys off the bench, and we see some guys coming in now. Both coaches giving their starters a break, tighten to the 2-point lead.
And they're trying to use their timeouts wisely as well to help their starters stay fresh. 11:59 to go. We'll take a quick break. Titans lead 58-56 on Classic Rock 98.3 WBXG, Rock of the Heartland. Bernie Coderre now in at the point as Bernie Coderre brings it up, but the Titans up by 2. At the left elbow to Bear. Bear with a couple of bounces to the right, gets it back to Coderre. Comes off of the screen, looks, gets it back to Charlie. Holds the ball back out to Coderre with 11 to shoot. As Bernie roams to the baseline, floats it up from 6 feet and hits.
That's a big one right there. Contributions off the bench. Coderre with a running one-hander that goes down.
And the Titans lead by 4 as the senior gets his first basket of the game. Jenko on the left side swings it out to Zapinski. Right side to Hubley, goes to baseline, draws the double, sends it back out to Jenko. Square, side steps, pops a 3. It's long, high into the air. Bear comes down with a miss. Poked away, but he regains control.
And we got some subs in the game now for Elmhurst. We'll see if the Titans can make a bit of a push now.
Coderre gets it down low to Laritz. Against Job, looking over the defense, powers it up, left it short. Job had his hands at the rebound, but it squirted away out of bounds. Titans to get it back.
That was a pretty nice job by Job right there, though. Get those hands straight up in the air, those arms straight up, make Laritz shoot over the top. You can see Job, a valuable member here of this basketball team, does a really nice job on the defensive end. Saw some good offensive action as well so far.
Coderre will inbound to Laritz on the baseline against Job, backing down, got good position, but the ball either slipped out of his hands or got knocked away, and it's recovered by Job in midcourt. And they'll reset as Job goes out to Jenko, left side to Zapinski. He has the seam, kicks it out to an open man. 3 on the way is long, missed by Hubley. Titans get the rebound. Coderre with the outlet, dangerously thrown, and it was off the fingertips of Lambesis at midcourt as Jenko challenged the pass, but it goes out of bounds to the Blue Jays.
Well, the Titans were Fortunate on that wasn't just picked and gone the other direction. That ball hung up in the air forever. And that was a good call that time. Lambesis turned. The Blue Jays did deflect it, but Lambesis definitely hit it last. We see Rhodey now back in the contest here for Coach Baines. Gets a little bit of a break. Now comes right back in.
60-56 jump step by Thomas. Left side to Militello. Scans the defense back out to Thomas. Raises a three. Rimming no. Tipped by Bear. Rebound won by No. No with a stop and go. Cross to the 10-second line. Sets up left wing. Runs into a double team and tries to get out of it. But before he did, the Titans called a timeout with the 10:15 to play. And the Titans lead 60-56.
Well, Illinois Wesleyan caught a break there. In the last possession, a wide open three-point shot. Elmhurst can't knock it down as Rhodey is now back in the game. Derek Dotlich still on the bench for Elmhurst. We'll see if they get him back in the lineup here in just a few moments. But usually it's Dotlich, the guy knocking down those three-pointers, Eric. Tonight it's been Nick Perry who has stepped up. But the Titans have done a nice job of taking Dotlich off the three-point line. Perry's done a nice job stepping up in his place and knocking down the three-pointer. I guess, Eric, Jake Rhodey, this is what he does. Getting the lane, penetration, dropping the ball off, and really running the show for the Blue Jays. You can see why people are so high on him. Boy, his ability to get in the lane and disturb the defense and probe with that basketball is outstanding. And he has been a difficult stop so far. We saw him miss that one shot, and then he got his own rebound.
Yep, just one miss all night to go with his 20 points. And Nick Perry, coming into the game, was 7 of 38 from three-point range, and he's 4 for 5 tonight.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Sometimes guys get hot, and hopefully that trend will not continue here for Elmhurst. Perry's done a really nice job, though, in this ball game. But, we saw the Titans with that nice lead. Elmhurst got back within 2. Illinois Wesleyan extending it out to 4. It's been a really good college basketball game here so far. Matt Layritz on the bench right now for Illinois Wesleyan. We'll see if the Titans can find some other guys who can score in the post down low. I really think that's where it's going to happen for Illinois Wesleyan here on the offensive end.
They have their two seniors, O'Neill and Cordero, on the floor, along with Bear, No, and Schumacher. Titans up by 4. Bear top of the key, right side to Cordero. Sets up at the post to O'Neill, gets it back to Bernie with a bounce. Swings it out to No for 3. Got it!
Oh, you can't leave Corey there on that help. Nice job by Cordero, kicking it back out, and the Titans extend the lead back to 7.
Cordero gets the assist. No with his third 3 of the game, lead up to 7. As Militello jump step baseline, lobs it back out to Rhodey. Rhodey in the right side looking for a screen from Thomas. Angles to the left elbow, swings it out to Thomas, has a 3. That's long. Bear gets the rebound.
That's Bear. What Charlie Bear does so well. Go up, extend, top of the jump, haul down that rebound. Well done that time.
Cordero top of the key to Bear, left side to No. No swings it across to Cordero for 3. That's long, tipped by O'Neill. Militello gets to the rebound for the Blue Jays. Militello into the front court. Stopped at the baseline. Pivots. Out to the wing. Now goes to Thomas. Thomas veers left with a handoff to Rhodey. Cordero tries to fight through his screen. Line drive 3 is good for Jake Rhodey.
I'm just not sure what you do when he's got it going. He's awfully hard to stop, and he's got it going tonight.
23 for Rhodey. Lead down to 4. 9 minutes to go. No left side. He shuffles toward the baseline. He'll skip past it and throw it away. Hit the foot of Cordero after it was tipped by a Blue Jay. Had a jump ball forced by Charlie Bear. He was at the bottom of the pile with Rhodey. And the alternate possession will keep it with the Titans. As Jenko, Sapinski, and Militello check out for the Blue Jays. While Perry, Dotlich, and Job check back in. And Lambesis will return for Wesleyan, replacing Cordero.
Now come down to the finish line in Waukesha. Carroll still with a 12-point lead, 4.5 to go in Wisconsin tonight. So the Pioneers looking to pull that one off. That would help out the Titans.
A win for Wesleyan tonight would put them in the 3rd spot. If they could beat Elmhurst, they would leapfrog them in the standings. Schumacher with the dribble drive, but the left-hander came up short.
Well, he got right to the rim right there, just couldn't finish.
Titans still cling to a 4-point lead. Rhodey baseline. Trapped, gets it out to Thomas. Thomas holds the ball, spins, guarded by Wallen, lays down the dribble into the paint, pulls up, and rattles out.
Boy, that's a good-looking shot, though, by Levon Thomas. Got all the way inside, around and out.
Into the corner, Lambesis for 3. Got it.
There you go. Pete Lambesis lining up that lefty shot right there. That's a big one for the Titans. Going back up 7 now. We tick down to 8 left in the contest.
Lambesis with the 9 points on the night. Perry in the left side. Awaits the screen by Thomas. Now Dotlich sets the pick. Perry holds the basketball, spins, goes over to Dotlich. Deep on the left. Overhead pass back to Perry. Perry looks for a post feed, goes baseline, draws the double, sneaks it across, and threw it away. A steal by Schumacher. Schumacher bounce pass ahead to Wallen, left of the lane for 2.
Oh, we talked about the defense a little bit slow, rotating earlier in the half. DeAndre Schumacher dropped down right into the correct spot right there to take that one away.
18 for Wallen. Titans lead by 9. The 3 is long by Rhodey. His second miss of the game, and that's it. Schumacher lead pass ahead to Wallen again. Angles in for 2 more, and the foul.
Boy, you talk about a great minute and a half for Illinois Wesleyan. Lambesis gets the 3. Doug Wallen with a couple of runouts and a finish right there. And the Titans extend back to a double-digit lead, and Jake Rhodey finally missed a shot, and they got the rebound as couldn't knock down that three-pointer. So Illinois Wesleyan making a nice run here to build a double-digit lead with 7:27 to go.
So almost a carbon copy of the last trip. The outlet from Schumacher to Wallen for the layup, but he gets to the end one here, and he converts. Doug Wallen is 21 points, and the Wesleyan lead grows to 12.
Now we'll see if the Titans can continue to hammer down on the defensive end.
Yes, the Blue Jay team can score points in a hurry, so this lead is still tenuous. Rhodey draws the double, caught in midair, got bailed out. Wasn't sure that he knew what he was going to do with the ball. And the foul goes against Lambesis, his 3rd.
Well, that's a tough one, too, and especially against Pete Lambesis, who's done such a good job against Rhodey all night long.
71-59, left elbow. It goes to Rhodey. Out to Dotlich. He'll stroke a long 3 and buries it from 25 feet.
Yeah, you got to take him off that three-point line. Half step more. He's got to put it on the deck and go by you.
Under 7 minutes to go, 71-62. Titans lead by 9. Right side, it's Wallen out by the Titan bench. Lambesis right side to Schumacher. Into the corner to Wallen. Ball fake back out to Schumacher. Schumacher chest pass to Bear. Top of the key, wheels left with a bounce. Now looks for a handoff. Bear holds, swings it out to Wallen. Wallen rolls off a pick. Looking inside, Bear wide open for 2.
Yeah, great roll that time. Slipping that screen right there. And Charlie Bear coming wide open near the rim.
Bear has 6, lead back up to double digits. Rhodey drives inside. His shot comes up short. Job there for the putback for 2. The jump hook. And that brings the lead back down to 9 at 73-64. And this comes with 6:20 left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Job, right place, right time there. Got the loose ball. Nice soft touch, able to put it home. Titans still up 9 with 6:20 left in the ball game. Now North Central cruising home, 5:12 to go in Rock Island. They lead Augustana by 20. And it looks like Carroll's going to pull this one out tonight. They've got Wheaton down 15 now, just under 3 minutes to go in the second half. And if Titans can hold on to this 9-point lead, boy, that puts them in really good shape going into 3 road games coming up the next week and a half.
Yeah, Carroll's thinking, we've been here before, though. They've had a hard time finishing games this year. It has been remarkable for a team that's 3-9, but they are as good as, well, they're good enough to compete with anybody at CCIW as they've proven just about every Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah, they're difficult sometimes to come back on, though, when they have that double-digit lead. They shoot free throws well. They don't turn it over. So we'll see what they can do trying to hold on tonight in Waukesha.
Titans close it out with 3 straight road games, as Joel said, at Wheaton Saturday, at North Park on Wednesday, and at Carthage a week from Saturday. The inbound for Lambesis knocked out of bounds. And then it's CCIW tournament time with a play-in round on Tuesday. The 3 seed hosts the 6 and the 4 hosts the 5. The 1 and 2 await. The 1 will host on Friday in the semifinals. As the inbound is nearly thrown away, again a Blue Jay player gets a hand on it. It's Thomas knocking it out of bounds, and they'll reset the inbound spot right in front of the Titan student section for Doug Wallen.
This is the first full court pressure we've seen from Elmhurst, and, you know, really the 2 point guards the Titans have in the program, both out. And it's really the first time we've seen the Blue Jays extend full court pressure. You don't see a tremendous amount of full court pressure in college basketball these days. But Elmhurst with a 9-point deficit right now with 6:19 to go in the ballgame.
Schumacher gets the inbound as he hustles into the front court, and The Blue Jays have to race back as the Titans set up shop. Crossover for Schumacher. Goes to the baseline. Kicks it out to an open Lambesis for three. Short. Perry rebounds for Elmhurst. Rhodey with the outlet. Inside, Joe with a tough catch underneath. And he launches it into the fifth row behind the Blue Jay bench as he tried to spot Dotlich in the corner. Had him open, but...
So how tall would Dotlich have to be to catch that one? Boy, nice job, though, by Rhodey. Looking ahead. It was a no-look pass to Job, and Job just about was able to catch it. One more step, and he'd been able to finish. Titans did a nice job getting back.
Lambesis gets it off of the inbound. Titans lead by 9. Bear top of the key. Spins, gives the ball back out to Lambesis, into the corner to Wallen. Wallen rolls off a pick, holds the ball at the elbow, swings it across to Schumacher. Schumacher sidesteps, pops a three, no good. Job gets both hands of the rebound.
I'd love to see that ball funnel down to the post. You know, Matt Leyritz is setting that screen, but he's also getting good post position down low after he does it.
Rhodey goes to baseline, airballed it. Tried to one hand, it came up short. Titans the other way. Lambesis in traffic, over to Schumacher to the goal, and he kicks it back out to Lambesis, but didn't get there. Stolen by Rhodey as he shovels it out as he was falling out of bounds, and they turn it over. Everyone looks at the ref. They thought surely the play was stopped. They keep it going, and Leyritz comes up short. Leyritz was straddling the half-court line as he launched it back. I think everyone was expecting a backcourt violation. There was no whistle. They all looked at the men in stripes. They kept them playing.
Yeah, I think everybody was expecting a whistle of some sort of violation right there. Titans catching a break, though, and Matt Leyritz will end up at the free throw line here.
And so it's Leyritz, a 57% free throw shooter. Second foul on Jake Rhodey. Free throw is good. Leyritz with 16 and making his second start of the season. He only starts against Elmhurst. Although I suspect he might find his way into the starting lineup after this performance.
Yeah, many more starts for Matt, obviously, in his career coming up. 16 tonight, 21 from Doug Wallen. That's some good efforts out of those guys.
And this one spins out, and Job gets the rebound. Titans up by 10 with 5 minutes on the clock. Rhodey on the left side, guarded by Lambesis. Swings it out to Dotlich. Right side to Perry. Holds the orange high. Looks for a target. Swings it for Dotlich. Sweeps to the left. Pulls up. 12-footer. Tough shot. Back rimmed it. No. Rebound Thomas. Thomas powers it back up and scores with a foul on Leyritz.
I'm just not sure what they want Matt to do in there. He's trying to hold his arms up in the air as much as he possibly can vertically. Thomas jumps right into him, and he picks up the foul inside. Yeah, it's tough for Matt Leyritz. That's a big play by Thomas in there, keeping Elmhurst in the ball game, getting that lead down to 8 now here at 4:45.
Thomas 8 points, 4 rebounds as he looks for the three-point play, gets the roll. And that brings the lead down to 7, 74-67. 4:40 left as Lambesis brings it up to No. Out to Wallen. Front end center right side to No. Off the pick by Leyritz. He gets it back to Leyritz. Strokes a three. Got it.
Boy, he didn't hesitate at all. The pick and pop that time looked awfully good coming off his hand and straight down the well.
19 for Leyritz, and the Titans lead by 10, 77-67. And Rhodey was trying to fight through a pick set by Thomas, and Lambesis was trying to stick with him, and he just picked up his 4th.
Yeah, that's tough right there for the Titans. He has done his best all night to stay in front of Jake Rhodey. And 4 fouls, and that is a tough one right there. Looked like he was doing a nice job defensively.
77-67 with 4:20 to play as the inbound comes in to Thomas. Thomas on the left wing to Rhodey. Moves into the paint, scoops it up and missed it. And it's out of bounds, and Elmhurst will still keep it as Rhodey has cooled off just a bit. The degree of difficulty on his shots hasn't changed, but the outcome has in the last few attempts.
Yeah, the Titans did a nice job walling off near the rim right there. Boy, look at Elmhurst and their numbers tonight. 51% from the floor, 10 out of 21 from the three-point line. They have shot the ball really, really well here so far in the contest. But the thing for the Blue Jays tonight, Eric, 17 turnovers for Elmhurst. The Titans are plus 10 in the turnover department so far in the ball game. So, boy, Elmhurst has shot the ball really well, but turnovers have plagued the Blue Jays so far. We'll see if the Titans can hold on to this 10-point lead.
4:19 to go. The inbound comes to Thomas on the left wing. Guarded by Bear. Wheels to the left. Moves into the baseline. Draws a double. Kicks it out. Job out to Dotlich. Wheels to the right. In the paint. Lays it up short. Drew the foul. Just inside the half circle. Bear tried to take the charge, and he got his fourth.
Yeah, that's a good call by the official right there. Charlie was inside the circle. A nice job of recognizing and making the correct call.
So 4 on Bear. 2 free throws coming for Derek Dotlich, who is the best free throw shooter in the conference at 94%. And he has 2 free throws coming. The Blue Jays for the night are 7 for 9. They can bring this down to an 8-point difference. The first is good.
Elmhurst +5 on the boards here so far in the contest this evening. And Illinois Wesleyan, though, Eric, has gotten off 17 more shots tonight than Elmhurst. A significant difference, and the reason why up 9 with 4:06 to go.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have shot better, but again, it comes down to attempts. Dotlich gets both free throws. He's the 4th Blue Jay in double figures. 77-69 Titans as Coderre gets it off of the inbound. Bringing it up with Wallen, Schumacher, No, and Laritz.
It'll be interesting to see if Elmhurst extends more pressure here as we get closer to the end of the contest.
Now Schumacher kicks the pass into the corner to Wallen. On the cut to Laritz, wheeling down low with the left hand, up and in, around Job for 2.
That is such a tough move right there, and Matt's having another great night.
21 points for Laritz, the sophomore, coming up big as the Titans lead by 10, 79-69. Perry over to Rhodey. He'll spin, fade from 14, bricked it, rebound Laritz. Gets it over to No. 3:23 to play.
Yep, work that clock now here. Good possessions the rest of the way. No need to take a quick shot.
79-69. Titans take their time. It's Coderre out by midcourt. Loose man-to-man coverage by the Blue Jays. Now they come a little closer. Wallen over to No. Shot clock at 9. No. Clears out the right side. Lost the dribble. Poked away. Nice save by Rhodey as he was unable to control it. It went back to No, and he got a timeout with the shot clock down to 2. So they'll have to get a quick shot away with 2:58 to go, and the Titans leading 79-69.
Illinois Wesleyan now with 2 timeouts left. Tough spot right there. It's the only thing that No could really do was call timeout. Not a whole lot of time to get something off, but we'll see what the Titans can draw up in the huddle right here. But Illinois Wesleyan doing a better job of walling off near the rim, making it difficult on Jake Rhodey, though. In the first half, he made some pretty spectacular shots at the rim as well. Have done a better job with that high ball screen as the half has gone on. And right now, Illinois Wesleyan with that 10-point lead. A couple of finals across the CCIW for you. About 4 seconds still to go in Waukesha, and Carroll's going to win this one 74-61. The Pioneers have the lead there. Carthage has beaten North Park by 12, and with 1:14 to go, North Central is going to beat Augustana up by 15 with 1:14 to go. So, Eric, this is really the only competitive ball game we got left in the CCIW right now. And the Titans hopefully will be able to kind of pull away a little bit here in the last 2:58.
Titans get ready for some traveling in the next week and a half. Their next 3 games are on the road, and when you are traveling anywhere, anytime, Journeys is your place for travel. Call Brad at 217-892-2526. It is like having a concierge on call anywhere, anytime, Journeys. As the Titans lead by 10 with 2:58 remaining here at Shirk Center. Titans looking to solidify their standing in the CCIW, and they would leapfrog ahead of the Blue Jays with a win tonight.
Well, here we go. Let's see what they did draw up. Actually, they did reset that shot clock, Eric, coming out.
Yeah, I guess they figure it was a possession for Jake Rhodey,
Yeah,
albeit an awfully short one.
What a break for the Titans.
Yeah, because, of course, they can burn a lot more time, but they would have a tough attempt off the inbound. So the shot clock is now down to 10. On the right side is Schumacher. He falls down, lost the basketball, and Perry picked it up, and he got a timeout. As the ball slipped away from Schumacher, it looked like he slipped. So did Ibrahim Job in about the same spot. I don't know if one caused the other, or they just hit the same spot on the floor, but they both went down. That's where Schumacher lost the ball, and Perry was there to get it just in time, and he got a timeout because he was in no man's land. And so the Blue Jays take it back now with 2:35 to go, and both teams now down to one timeout, and the Titans leading 79-69.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there for Illinois Wesleyan. They turned the basketball over. Still had about 15 seconds left on that shot clock right there. Would love to have seen a little bit more time come off that clock and at least get a shot at the basket. Didn't happen that time for Illinois Wesleyan. So the Blue Jays will have the ball back, and you got to think in the last 2:35, Eric, everything's going to go through Jake Rohde. A lot of screens on the outside. Just see what your point guard can do, as he's made some spectacular plays so far in the contest here. For Illinois Wesleyan, Peter Lambesis has 4 fouls. The question is, when do you bring him back in the game? It's an interesting question here. I'm thinking as long as you have a double-digit lead, you can keep it at 7 or 8. You could probably keep him into about the minute-and-a-half mark of the contest. He's been the big defender of Rohde, but at some point you're going to have to bring Peter off the bench. And what you're going to have to tell him is, hey, you're just going to have to play aggressive basketball. Do the best you can. If you pick up that 5th foul, you pick up the 5th foul. But if you're going out there and you're going to be guarding Rohde, we're going to have you at 100% going at him.
Rohde has cooled off considerably after a great start. He still has 23 points, but he has missed his 6 of his last 7 shots, 7 for 13 from the field for the night, including 3 3-point shots. Now Elmhurst has the full court to go, or just inside of that.
Now Lambesis is back in the game now, Eric, here, and he's going to have the star point guard for the Blue Jays.
As Rohde brings it up, comes around a screen set by Thomas, weaves into the paint, had his pocket pick, the strip by No, with the outlet to Schumacher, glides in for the layup.
Yeah, Corey No with a big defensive play there for Illinois Wesleyan. Able to get the steal, the kick ahead to Keandre Schumacher, and he knocks it home, and the Titans now extend back to 12.
13 for Schumacher tonight, with the 2:08 to go. Thomas to the right side, crosses over into the paint, pulls up, 12-footer is good. Thomas has 11 points. 81-71, Titans by 10, under 2 minutes to go. Elmhurst pressing.
Now you got 3 seconds to get it across.
No draws the double. They get it across just in time. Now to Lambesis on the left side. And they'll slow it down. Half-court trap. Ball punched away by Hubley, but recovered by the Blue Jays for a moment. It's loose. Merritt had it, then got tied up. Alternate possession goes to the Blue Jays with 1:38 on the clock.
Boy, they threw the ball into traffic right there as a pass goes right in the middle. A number of players had a shot at it. Those are the types of plays you can't make. But this is where the Titans could be hurt by having both of their point guards out here in this contest. And we'll see how they do here in the last 1:36.
Jake Rohde brings it up, 81-71 to Wesleyan. Rohde on the left side with the bounce pass ahead to Merritt. Gets back to Rohde. Into the corner, covered by No. Gets it to Thomas on the wing. Thomas moves in, crosses over on Bear, and he got bumped by Charlie Bear as he made his way to the basket, and that's going to be 5 on Charlie Bear. So he exits with 6 points. It's a 1 bonus for the Blue Jays. Matt Larritz returns as Bear goes out, and Nick Perry returns for Elmhurst. 1:21 to play.
Oh, the Blue Jays are going to extend full court pressure here against Illinois Wesleyan. The Titans need to handle pressure, knock down free throws the rest of the way. It'll be interesting to see how long Elmhurst will wait before they foul.
First one is in and out. Lambesis gets the rebound. A big miss for LaVon Thomas, a 70% free throw shooter.
You got to give it right away here. You got to extend this game. You can't let them burn all that shot clock down.
I'm surprised they're trapping now, but the clock is already inside of 20 seconds, and now they foul as Thomas reaches for Doug Wallen and fouls him with 1:07 to go.
It's just 1-1 here now they got one more to give still. It's going to be 1-1 here on the next foul. Boy, if you're Elmhurst here, be as aggressive as you want to be. If you foul, you put them at the line. But really go after things here against Illinois Wesleyan.
So No will inbound to Lambesis. Dotlitz closes in but doesn't foul him. They don't foul Schumacher either. He dribbles out of trouble, draws the double over to Lambesis into the corner to Wallen, and now they foul him. Now, Wallen is the lowest percentage free throw shooter on the floor. That might have been what they were waiting for, but gosh, you're letting a lot of time tick off the clock. You're now down to 56 seconds, and you're fouling a guy who has 21 points tonight.
Yeah, I think in this situation, you just got to give it as quickly as possible. Try to extend the game as long as you possibly can. Hope the Titans miss some free throws, especially some front ends of these 1-and-1s, as Coderre will come back into the lineup here. Boy, Coderre's really played some solid minutes here in the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game. He's been huge coming off the bench for the Titans.
1 in bonus for Doug Wallen. He's long on the first, and Thomas pulls down the miss. 54 seconds to go. Wesleyan by 10. Rhodey sets up right side, swings it baseline to Job, swings it back out. Now Rhodey strokes a long three, high into the air, no good. Coderre pulls down the miss. And now the Blue Jays foul. This time No is fouled by Dotlich. And Corey No will step to the line for a 1 in bonus with 38.5 seconds to go. Titans up by 10.
Now you can talk about all the numbers tonight, and obviously the Titans had a lot of guys stepping up, great performances, but none better than Peter Lambesis defensively tonight. He had the tall task of trying to stay in front of number 1 for Elmhurst, and he did a terrific job. Obviously, Rhodey hit some really difficult shots throughout the game. Boy, but hats off to Pete Lambesis tonight.
No, making the first of a 1 in bonus. He's an 80% free throw shooter. Now the 4th Titan to reach double figures tonight.
And Corey's done and made some really good defensive plays down the stretch here. A couple of strips of the basketball, keying those fast breaks going the other direction.
Second free throw is good, and No has 11. And that's the margin, 82-71. Rhodey in the front court swings it out to Thomas. He'll dribble left of the lane, reverses, leaves it short. Rebound Larritzson fouled by Dotlich with 28.4 seconds to go.
And this is a really good win here for Illinois Wesleyan. Get them to 9-4 in the conference, 15-7 overall. And with Wheaton losing tonight, where the Titans put themselves in a much, much better position. And all of a sudden you look up, Augustana dropped to 10-4 in the conference. And Eric, the Titans just a half a game behind Augustana now. So, boy, you thought on Saturday things were not looking good. Augustana dominated the second half. And, boy, 3 days later, things looking a lot better for Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, certainly quite a jumble at the top. And that number 2 seed is important because that gives you a bye in the first round. And the Titans are back in contention for that as Laritz makes the first of a 1 in bonus, as he gets 22 points tonight.
And it looks like the Titans are going to be able to cruise home here just a little bit now.
Well, that said, it does look like North Central is pretty close to solidifying the number 1 as Laritz gets both free throws. They'll now have a 2-game lead in the conference race with 3 games to go. Jenko with the drive and the uncontested layup for the Blue Jays. That's his first basket. 20 seconds left, 85-73. Blue Jays don't appear to be fouling, and the Titans are going to dribble out the clock. Inside of 15 seconds, and the senior Boney Coderre holds the basketball and is going to walk it off and give the ball to the official, and the Titans will get a hard-fought victory here tonight at a game they had to have against a nationally ranked team after they lost one of their top players. A spirited performance tonight, and they get the victory 85-73.
Yeah, that's an impressive performance by Illinois Wesleyan. Point guard by committee tonight. Lambesis, Schumacher, a nice job. We saw Bernie Coderre come in, do a nice job at the point guard position as well. And certainly missed those 2 point guards, obviously, but nice job by everybody banding together and able to pick up a hard-fought victory. Matt Laritz did a great job scoring inside for Illinois Wesleyan, but I think the key tonight, Eric, was just the really good start for Illinois Wesleyan. Got off to an outstanding start and got themselves out to a lead and certainly built confidence.
85-73, the Titans win it. Our postgame comes up next, and we'll hear from Coach Ron Rose and a player guest as well. This is Illinois Wesleyan Titan basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WEXG, Rock of the Heartland.
Unofficial scoring totals. First for Blue Jays at Elmhurst College, you are now 18-5 on the season at 9-5 in the CCIW. Jake Rhodey 23, Nick Perry 12, Dominic Jenko 2, Derek Dodge 10, Levon Thomas 11,
And welcome back to Shirk Center here at Illinois Wesleyan. Titans get the victory tonight, 85-73 over the Elmhurst Blue Jays. And our Titan player of the game, sponsored by Musselman Insurance. For all your insurance needs, contact your local Pekin Insurance agent at 309-829-6323. Peter Lambesis, our player of the game tonight, 9 points, and you had the unenviable task tonight of keeping the top scorer in the CCIW in check in Jake Rohde, and you guys came through tonight.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. He still got us on some of them, but, we forced him to take a lot of twos, and that was kind of the game plan. And we got stops when we needed them. That's kind of what it comes down to in these types of games. Good players are going to make plays, but when you can get stops when you need to, that's what matters.
Talk about guarding Jake, especially in the high ball screen situation. What's the game plan there?
The game plan is just kind of keep him going to his left. He likes to snake it around. He actually got us on a couple. I fouled him a couple times, what they call a foul. But, yeah, I mean, he's so good because he's low to the ground. But the game plan is just kind of keep him in front and keep him off the three-point line because that's where he's at his best. And
it seemed like when he was off the ball then, you tried to make him curl as much as possible. He had a lot of sharp curls and kind of got in the lane, and you got some help from some big defenders down there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, weak side, we kind of just stayed glued to him. And that actually makes it harder for the other four defenders because they have to, really take up a lot more space. So credit to them, too, to my other four teammates out there because they showed up, too, just as hard of a job on the other guys, too.
Yeah, and talk about Charlie Bayer. It seemed like Charlie Bayer, he was out there on that ball screen quite a bit. Talk about what he's doing to help you out.
Yeah, I mean, he's our leader, and that was huge having him out there just because he calls it out so early. So I know right away what to do. Whereas sometimes when you're kind of guessing what you're going to have to do, especially with such a good player, it's huge having Chuck out there to be able to kind of command it and call out what we want.
Elmhurst got a ton of fast break points when you played them up there at Elmhurst. It seemed like you guys kind of turned the tables tonight. There were some turnovers, offensive or defensive rebounds, and you guys were out running that fast break.
Yeah, right. The first half kind of flipped it. It looked like we were the ones running. But we focused more on keeping them contained, kind of corralling them. And we really emphasize in practice capacity is just get back after a shot. It's tempting to go get that offensive rebound, but if we can get back, we'll contain them because they're at their best when they're in transition. So,
what was the game plan against Derek Dotlich? Take him off the three-point line as well tonight?
It's kind of similar to Rohde. He's obviously can be more of a driver, but if we can chase him off the line, that's a win for us. Make him take as many twos as possible, and Doug did a hell of a job on him. So.
Yeah, talk about the start tonight. I mean, you guys got off such a great start. Coming off Saturday, a little disappointing in the second half, but a great start and a lot of energy out there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We came out, we hit a lot of shots, which was our problem on Saturday. We weren't hitting shots. So that was nice to kind of feed off of that. And we just played with a confidence out there that sometimes, Saturday we didn't have that. But we came out and just played locked in, stuck to the game plan. It worked for us.
Another guy in the sophomore class, obviously battling injuries most of the year, but Matt Leyritz, I mean, he has stepped in, and what a difference he has made for you guys.
Yeah, he's been huge. We can just feed it to him, and he can go get a bucket for us. Like when we're cold, we're kind of missing some shots. We can bet on him to get a bucket in the post, which helps a lot.
Are you talking about that in the huddle? Hey, we're able to feed Matt here, try to get him in those low post positions.
Yeah, exactly. Like when we know we're kind of cold, we'll settle down in the timeouts and be like, all right, let's get a look down low to Matt or Chuck. And then even if they don't score off it, they kick it out, and we get more looks if we can get it inside.
So after you found out about Luke, what was the discussion about, okay, obviously our 2 point guards are down. Is it point guard by committee now? Whoever needs to bring the ball up, is that kind of where we're at?
Definitely. It's kind of like that. I don't know if, some plays they would be fronting me when I was trying to get the inbound. So we just have Keandre, Corey, or Bernie because we can all handle the ball. So kind of like you said, point guard by committee. And we're all capable of handling that pressure. So, it worked out fine tonight, and it was a great game plan.
Yeah, it certainly did.
So, yeah.
Last chance in front of the home fans, and you get the win. You get ready to go out on the road. 3 tough road games down the stretch, starting with Wheaton on Saturday. But the trajectory maybe changes a little bit after tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, change in our favor for sure. So, hopefully it's not our last game at Shirk if we can get that 2 seed, hosting the conference tournament. But, yeah, I mean, these 3 games coming up are big. We can really re-solidify ourselves in the CCIW.
All right, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on the win tonight, and we'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, that's Illinois Wesleyan sophomore Peter Lambesis. 9 points tonight, and he had the unenviable task of keeping Jake Rohde in check. 23 points tonight for Rohde, but he certainly made him work for those tonight. And we'll go through the final numbers here in just a moment as Coach Ron Rose will make his way over. The Titans with the win tonight, improving to 15-7 overall and 9-4 in the CCIW. And they will now leapfrog. The Elmhurst Blue Jays will fall into the 4th spot in the conference, as Elmhurst now has lost 4 out of 5. They dropped to 18-5 overall, and they are 9-5 in the CCIW heading into Saturday's action. They still have 4 more games to go, and the Titans will have 3 on the road, starting with Saturday's contest against Wheaton on the road. We will have a doubleheader starting at 5 o'clock. We'll bring you the women's game at 5. Derek Bowman will have the call, and then the men will take the floor at 7. So both those games coming your way. We'll also have the Titan Coaches Show that will come your way tomorrow night from Cheeks Bar and Grill with Derek Bowman and Coach Maya Smith on the women's side, and Coach Ron Rose representing the men as well. The women fell tonight against Milligan 75-71 in Decatur. Now Coach Rose joining us, and what a spirited performance by a team that may have been a little down coming into the game tonight. They certainly didn't show it tonight.
Really a determined effort. And, I'm sure people are wondering, what is this going to look like? You've lost, in my opinion, probably 2 all-conference point guards.
Yeah.
How is this going to look? And I wasn't exactly sure. I knew in my head I had a vision of how we wanted to play, but we haven't done it yet. And I thought collectively as a group, we got ourselves fairly organized. It certainly helps when the ball goes in a few. I mean, we hit some really big shots when we needed to. Matt Larish is, again, a load down low, as well as the ability to step out. And it's just nice to see several guys make big plays when we needed them.
Yeah, a 58-56 game, and one guy coming off the bench, Bernie Coder, hits a little runner for you, puts you back up 4. And there's a guy, Coach, that hasn't seen a lot of minutes, but when the time came, he was ready to step up and do it.
He really was. And, Bernie is a senior, a mature kid. He's always going to give you a great effort. And defensively, he's an elite defender, and we've kind of used him that way this year in spots when we needed a stop. And we did it again tonight. Pete picks up fouls. You put in your senior, and he really did a nice job. We played, in the first half, I think we played 10 guys, and all 10 contributed. And that's the way we're going to have to play the rest of the year.
Yeah, talk about Pete and the defensive effort. I mean, Rudy got 23, but boy, he worked awfully hard to get those points.
He did. Jake Rody is a really good player. I mean, he's slippery, he's quick. You give him any crease, he's going to find it. And Pete, we put a lot on Pete. Pete guarded Rody all night. We asked him to play the point guard position, get us organized, and I thought tonight I really felt like he really grew up as a basketball player and as a leader in terms of just getting us in stuff, keeping his composure, being locked in for 40 minutes. Really a nice job by Pete.
And it's one of those things where all of a sudden Nick Perry knocks down some three-point shots. You got to get out on him. Now you're dealing with Rody, and Dotlich can shoot, so they put you in some tough positions.
They do, and we kind of said, if Nick Perry's going to beat us by making threes, then we'll tip our hat, because you can't guard them all.
Right.
And especially when you got guys like Dotlich and Rody that are so lethal offensively. So we kind of put our resources towards trying to make it tough on those two, and Nick Perry about made us pay.
Talk about just guarding that high ball screen and what a challenge that is against Rody.
It is. The hard part is you're asking your big guys, if you stay back. Now he's coming off with momentum,
right,
and he can go right, left. So we asked them to come up really high so he didn't come at you with momentum, but now you're bringing your big guy way out on the floor, and that was our strategy. And we also said the guys behind him, if we just got to get it out of his hands the best we can.
I guess it also worked out well. It seemed like almost continually it was Charlie who had to step out, one of your better defenders, and that really kind of worked out well.
He's really good at that.
Yeah, he is.
Charlie's really good at that, and he keeps guys in front. And then he's also able to, when they kicked it back to Thomas, who's really good at that high post, he did a nice job of closing out on him there as well.
Kind of start talking about pick your poison, but I was almost Elmhurst a little bit tonight where if they doubled Matt and Leywitz in the post, he can kick it out. But Matt is a tough cover right now that almost needs a double to be able to stop him, and that's going to be tough for teams to defend.
What a luxury.
It is.
I mean, when you can throw it in the block and basically one-on-one go to work, and if they double, and then it makes everybody else better.
Right.
It now all of a sudden the perimeter guys are attacking guys that are closing out on them instead of already on them. We got a great dive by Charlie Bear.
Yeah.
And so I think we're learning how to play off of such a talented low post scorer as Matt.
And it's also interesting because Matt can drag a big defender out to the 3, out to the 15-foot range. and that becomes a really tough cover then once he can drag them outside.
Totally agree. Would he hit 2 threes
Yeah.
and a couple other 10, 15-foot jump shots? And that's tough because now as an opposing coach, you might have a big guy that can guard inside but has a hard time stepping out, moving his feet. And really, we actually set up a play late to try to get Matt on the pick and pop. Assuming their big guy was doing a great job rotating over, protecting the rim, we thought we could get it and didn't quite happen. But you're exactly right. That's a dual threat there, his ability to score inside and out.
So we kind of talked about this with Pete a little bit, but does it kind of become a point guard by committee now?
It is.
Different guys bringing the ball up and really everybody having to do it together.
And that's kind of what we decided. We really went basic offensively. If you guys have seen us play almost all our games, you didn't see a lot of the movements you see, and we said we're just going to keep it as simple as possible so that, quite honestly, I didn't want to bog Pete down, having to think a lot. And so you saw Doug Wallen dribble it up. Keandre did quite a bit the first half. And I think that's just how we're going to have to play, is any guard can bring it up and we'll simplify. I think we picked 3 or 4 movements we were going to kind of try to execute tonight. And probably every game we'll probably pick a few and work on those couple days and go with that.
And you had to be proud of this effort tonight. I mean, it was a tough second half against Augustana. You got really bad news after the game. This is a team that I thought came out with great energy and tremendous spirit in the first part of the game.
I totally agree. We talked about that. We're going to come lace them up, and we're going to compete.
Right.
And we've lost, when you look at Grant, Gavin, and Luke, we've lost 3 really talented players. But, we've got talented players still on the floor.
Sure.
And we've got guys that are competitive and have pride. And I thought you saw that tonight. I thought guys knew we had to step up and really perform. The one thing that I really challenged is let's be a smart team. Let's really, as a group, understand time and score. Elmhurst really works in momentum well. 20-0 run on us that time.
Sure.
I thought we did a great job in it with our transition defense. And then offensively, I thought there were times when they were on runs. We were pretty smart in terms of taking care of the ball, maybe a little longer possession, getting it down on the low block, where we never really let them get untracked and put a big run on us.
And also, you started talking about transition offense on your end. Boy, you guys got a lot of breakouts today. That was a real key, because your spurt there that really put the game away, it was all about turnovers, getting easy baskets on the other end.
Well, I thought Keandre was a big part of that spurt.
Yeah.
He got a couple big rebounds, and he's so fast when he can get that rebound and bust out. And I think we found Doug in back-to-back transition layups. And you're right, I think that's still a strength of ours. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to have to be, we were, when Grant and Luke, we were always preaching every time. We want to push it every time. We want 40 minutes. And now we're going to be more selective of when we push it. And I thought we were really smart of when to do it and when not to.
So obviously going on the road Saturday, Wheaton, the team that beat you here at the Shirk Center, what kind of differences do you need to see now going up to Wheaton to get the victory?
When we played them, was that the first conference game of the season?
Yeah,
it was early.
Yeah.
And they were just tougher than us that night.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they just beat us up. They were more physical. They got to spots. They guarded us. I just remember that game feeling helpless at times because they were just tougher. I think we've grown. We've gained some calluses through the competition of the CCIW. Wheaton guards really well, and then they got two backcourt that can really score. And so, every game's a new challenge. Mm-hmm. And now we've got on the road for 3 starting at Wheaton. But this is certainly a huge confidence booster for our group, knowing that even without some really quality players, we can compete.
And both times you had a rematch against a team that beat you. Came back and won. North Central last week, Elmhurst tonight, both nationally ranked teams too.
Well, we talk about that, of wanting to be the team that improves from the first part of the conference season to the second. You've got really smart kids in Illinois Wesleyan, and we want to make sure that we learn our lessons in that first game and hopefully execute better and perform. And so far, you're right. I think we've done that.
Well, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you Saturday at Wheaton.
Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, enjoy this one, Coach. Nice job.
All right, thanks, Joel.
Thank you. That's Titans coach Ron Rose joining us as Illinois Wesleyan gets the victory, 85-73, our final score. Let's look at the final numbers in this Titan victory. Wesleyan shot 64% from the field in the second half, 50% for the game, 34 out of 68. They were 10 of 23 from 3 for 44%, 7 of 11 at the free throw line for 64%. Well, the Blue Jays made 50% of their shots as well, 27 out of 54. but far fewer attempts, and we'll get to the reasons why in a minute. 10 of 22 from three-point range, 9 of 12 from the free throw line. The Blue Jays out-rebounded the Titans 34-32, but turnovers were big. The Titans had 9, while the Blue Jays had 18. So that was a key reason why the Titans had a lot more shot attempts in this contest. Looking at the individual numbers, Matt Laywitz had 23 points, 5 rebounds. Doug Wallen had 21 points, 3 boards, and 5 assists. Keandre Schumacher had 13 points, 4 assists. Corey No had 11 points and 6 assists. Charlie Bear had 6 points, 7 rebounds. Pete Lambesis had 9 points, 4 boards, 5 assists. Bernie Coder had 2 points. Alex O'Neill, Cody Mitchell, Colin Chaney all played but did not score. For the Blue Jays, they were led by Jake Rhodey. He was the first of 5 in double figures, 23 points, 7 assists. He started hot, cooled off late, finished 7 of 14 from the floor. Levon Thomas had 11 points, 5 rebounds. Ibrahim Job had 12 points, 12 boards off the bench. Nick Perry had 12 points. Derek Dotlich had 10, which is well below his average, and had 4 assists. Jay Militello had 3. Dominic Jenko had 2. Jonathan Sapinski, Brad Hubley, Hunter Merritt all played but did not score. The Titans get the victory 85-73, and so the Blue Jays, if we talk about them for just a minute, 2 weeks ago, they were ranked 4th in the country. They were 17-1, and now they've got to be a little bit nervous about their NCAA playoff potential as they now have 5 losses, and they're reeling heading down the stretch.
Yeah, that's a CCIW right there. You hit some tough stretches of the season, and we go all the way back to that 1-point loss that the Blue Jays had at Augustana, beaten at the buzzer. They've had a hard time since then, losing 4 out of 5, and they've exceeded expectations quite a bit of this season. But right now, a little bit of a struggle here for Elmhurst, and a lot of that was on the defensive end and in transition tonight. So the Blue Jays do drop to 9-5 in the conference. The Titans continue to come on. Eric, I was really impressed on how this team bounced back. It was a tough second half against Augustana. The Vikings really shut down the Titans. They got really bad news about Luke Yoder then after the basketball game. And this team really showed their heart tonight, putting on a great performance against Elmhurst and picking up a big win. Now you got to take it on the road. Wheaton has always been a tough place for the Titans to be able to win, and they're going to have to try to get the job done on Saturday.
Yeah, they'll try to avenge an earlier loss to the Thunder on Saturday night. Then they close it out at North Park on Wednesday, and then at Carthage on the 22nd. We have doubleheader coverage on Saturday, starting at 4:30 for the Titan women against Wheaton, and then the men will play at 7. Don't forget to catch us at the Titan Coaches Show tomorrow night at Cheeks Bar and Grill in Bloomington. We'll be on the air at 7. That'll wrap it up here tonight. Again, our final score, Illinois Wesleyan 85, Elmhurst College 73. For Joel Swanson and Nathan Schertz in studio, I'm Eric Stock saying so long from Shirk Center. This has been Illinois Wesleyan Titan Basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WBXG, Rock in the Heartland.